Bound in Blood and Vows, a dark mafia romance. Prologue, the night she became his. The gunshot echoes through the warehouse like thunder, and I'm suddenly very aware that I might die tonight. My father's hand trembles in mine as he collapses to his knees, blood blooming across his white shirt like a crimson flower. The metallic scent hits me before the reality does, sharp, nauseating, final. Elena. His voice is a rasp, barely audible over the ringing in my ears. Run. But I can't move. My legs have turned to stone, my lungs refusing to pull in air. Around us, the shadows shift and breathe with violence. Men in dark suits move like specters through the smoke-filled warehouse, their voices low and dangerous. I'm 24 years old and I've spent my entire life sheltered from this world. My father kept me away from his business, away from the darkness that paid for my college education and the modest brownstone we called home. But debt, I've learned tonight, has a way of dragging everything into the light. Moretti. The voice that cuts through the chaos is deep, commanding, edged with something that sounds almost like boredom. You knew this day would come. I force myself to look up from my father's crumpled form. Through the haze of gun smoke and fear, a man emerges. He's tall, intimidatingly so, with dark hair swept back from a face that could have been carved from marble. His suit is impeccable despite the violence swirling around us, and his eyes. God, his eyes are the coldest thing I've ever seen. Gray like winter storms, completely devoid of mercy. This is Dante Vitale. I know who he is the way everyone in Chicago knows who the devil is. You don't live in this city without hearing the name whispered in equal parts fear and reverence. Head of the Vitale family. King of the Chicago underworld. A man whose reputation for ruthlessness makes even hardened criminals cross themselves. And my father owed him everything. Dante, please. My father's voice breaks, and I've never heard him beg before. The sound of it cracks something inside my chest. I can get you the money. Just give me more time. Time? Dante crouches down, bringing himself level with my father but keeping those merciless eyes fixed on me. I've given you 3 years, Giuseppe. 3 years of extensions, of second chances, of patience I don't typically possess. Your daughter is very beautiful, by the way. You never mentioned her. Ice floods my veins. The way he's looking at me isn't sexual, not exactly. It's assessing. Calculating. Like I'm a piece on a chessboard he's deciding how to move. She has nothing to do with this. My father's hand tightens around mine, and I can feel his blood, warm and sticky, seeping between our fingers. Elena is innocent. Let her go. Innocent. Dante tilts his head slightly, and something almost like amusement flickers across his features. There's no such thing in our world, Giuseppe. You should know that better than anyone. He stands and I have to crane my neck back to keep my eyes on his face. He's easily 6'3", broad-shouldered, with the kind of presence that makes the air feel thinner. One of his men approaches, whispering something in Italian too rapid for me to catch, but Dante waves him away without breaking eye contact with me. Your father owes me $8 million, he says conversationally as if discussing the weather. Money he borrowed to pay off the Kozlov family. Money he promised to repay within 18 months. That deadline passed a year and a half ago. 8 million. The number steals what little breath I have left. I knew my father had money problems. He'd been stressed, taking calls at odd hours, looking older every time I saw him, but $8 million? I don't have it. My voice sounds strange to my own ears, high, thin, terrified. I'm a waitress. I live paycheck to paycheck. I can't. I'm not interested in money anymore. Dante cuts me off, his voice dropping lower. Somehow that makes it more frightening. Your father has proven himself unreliable. No, what I need now is something more valuable than cash. He takes a step closer and I instinctively move back, pulling my father with me. But there's nowhere to go. We're surrounded by Dante's men, each one armed, each one watching us with the detached interest of predators watching wounded prey. What do you want? I force the words out, even as my body screams at me to run, to hide, to disappear. Dante's lips curve into something that might be a smile on anyone else. On him it looks like a death sentence. You. The word hangs in the air between us, heavy with implications I don't want to understand. My father makes a sound, part growl, part sob, and tries to surge to his feet, but the blood loss has weakened him. He collapses again and I have to hold him up, my arms burning with the effort. No, my father gasps. Dante, no. Kill me instead. Take everything I have but leave her alone. You have nothing left to take. Dante's voice is final, absolute. Nothing except her. He looks at me again and this time there's something calculating in his gaze. Here's what's going to happen, Elena Moretti. Your father's debt dies with him, but only if you agree to my terms. What terms? The words scrape out of my throat like broken glass. You'll marry me. The warehouse tilts. I must have heard him wrong. I must be in shock, hallucinating, because there's no way this stranger, this killer, just proposed to me over my dying father's body. 24 months, he continues as if he's discussing a business contract and not my entire life. 2 years as my wife. You'll live in my home, appear at my side when required, and play the part of the devoted Mrs. Vitale. In exchange, your father lives tonight, his debt is cleared, and when our arrangement ends, you walk away with $5 million and your freedom. $5 million. Enough to disappear, to start over somewhere far from Chicago and its blood-soaked streets. Enough to never worry about money again. But at what cost? And if I refuse? I have to ask even though I already know the answer. Dante's expression doesn't change, but his hand moves to the gun holstered at his side. Then your father dies tonight and I make sure everyone in Chicago knows the Moretti name is synonymous with dishonor. Every debt collector, every two-bit gang member, every desperate fool looking to make a name for themselves will know you're alone and unprotected. You won't survive a week. My father's breathing is getting shallower, his grip on my hand weakening. There's so much blood. Too much. Even if Dante lets us go right now, I don't know if he'll make it to a hospital in time. Save him first, I hear myself say. The words come from somewhere deep inside me, some primal place that overrides fear and logic. Get him medical attention, make sure he survives, and I'll sign whatever you want. For the first time, something like respect flickers in Dante's cold eyes. He snaps his fingers and 2 of his men immediately move forward, carefully lifting my father between them. Take him to Dr. Castellano, Dante orders. Tell him it's my highest priority that Giuseppe Moretti survives the night. His gaze locks onto mine. You have my word. If you agree to my terms, your father will receive the best medical care money can buy. I should negotiate. I should demand more assurances, more details about what being his wife actually means. But my father is dying, and every second I hesitate is a second closer to losing him forever. I need a pen, I say numbly. Dante's smile is triumphant. He produces a folded document from inside his jacket. He came prepared for this, I realize with a chill, and holds it out to me along with an expensive-looking pen. My hands shake as I take them. The contract is short, clinical, outlining the terms he just spoke. 24 months of marriage, $5 million upon completion, my father's debt forgiven. There are other clauses, legal jargon I can't focus on through the haze of shock and adrenaline. At the bottom, 2 signature lines wait. I don't let myself think. Thinking will make me realize the enormity of what I'm doing. Trading my freedom, my future, my entire life to a man I know only by reputation. A man whose business card is violence and whose mercy comes with a price tag attached. I sign my name. Dante takes the document, examines my signature with a critical eye, then signs his own name with a flourish. When he folds the paper and tucks it back into his jacket, it feels like signing my own death warrant. Marco, he calls, and a man with silver threading through his dark hair steps forward. Make sure Miss Moretti, he pauses, and that smile returns, sharp as a blade. Excuse me, Mrs. Vitale, gets home safely tonight. Have her belongings moved to the penthouse tomorrow morning. 8 a.m. sharp. Mrs. Vitale. The name sounds foreign, wrong, like clothes that don't fit. Wait. I find my voice one more time, desperate to cling to some shred of control. My father, I need to see him. To know he's okay. Dante considers this, then nods once. You'll be informed of his condition. But understand this, Elena, the way he says my name is intimate, possessive, and it makes my skin crawl. From this moment forward, your old life is over. You belong to me now. Every breath, every heartbeat, every second of the next 2 years is mine. I own you. The finality in his voice leaves no room for argument. His men are already escorting me toward a black car waiting outside the warehouse, and I'm too numb, too overwhelmed to resist. As they guide me into the back seat of the town car, I catch one last glimpse of Dante standing in the doorway of the warehouse, silhouetted against the smoke and shadows. Even from this distance, I can feel the weight of his gaze on me. The car door shuts and Marco, my new keeper apparently, slides into the driver's seat. As we pull away from the warehouse, away from the blood and the gun smoke and the life I knew just an hour ago, I finally allow myself to break. Tears stream down my face, hot and bitter. I married a monster tonight. Sold myself to save my father's life. And the worst part, the thing that terrifies me more than Dante's cold eyes or the violence he embodies, is the small, treacherous part of me that wonders what it will be like to be his. What kind of man demands a wife as payment for a debt? What kind of man holds the power of life and death in his hands and wields it so casually? And what kind of woman agrees to marry him? I don't have answers to any of these questions. All I know is that tomorrow morning, I'll wake up in Dante Vitale's penthouse. Tomorrow, I'll begin learning how to survive as the wife of Chicago's most dangerous man. Tomorrow my nightmare begins. But tonight, as the city lights blur past the window and Marco drives me toward an uncertain future, I make myself a promise. I will survive this. I will find a way to endure these 24 months, collect my $5 million, and disappear to somewhere Dante Vitale and his world of blood and bullets can never find me. I have to believe that. It's the only thing keeping me from shattering completely. The car turns onto Lakeshore Drive, heading north toward the Gold Coast and the life that's waiting to swallow me whole. In the rearview mirror, Marco's eyes meet mine and I see something there, pity maybe or understanding. It gets easier, he says quietly. The fear, I mean. Eventually. I don't respond. I'm not sure I believe him. But as the penthouse towers rise ahead of us, gleaming and cold against the Chicago skyline, I straighten my spine and wipe my eyes. If I'm going to survive Dante Vitale, I can't afford to be weak. I can't afford to break. So I breathe. In and out. Steady. Controlled. And I prepare myself for the war ahead. Because make no mistake, this is war. A war for my survival, my sanity, my soul. Dante Vitale might own the next 2 years of my life, but he doesn't own me. Not really. Not yet. And if I have any say in it, he never will. Chapter 1, The Contract Bride. The penthouse smells like money and danger. I stand in the entrance hall, if you can call a space larger than my entire apartment just an entrance hall, and try to process the fact that this is now my home. Marble floors stretch in every direction, so polished I can see my reflection staring back at me, pale and hollow-eyed. A massive crystal chandelier hangs overhead, catching the early morning light streaming through floor-to-ceiling windows that offer a breathtaking view of Lake Michigan. It's beautiful. Terrifying. Nothing like the modest brownstone where I grew up. Mrs. Vitale. Marco's voice pulls me from my days. He's been nothing but professional since picking me up from my apartment at precisely 8 a.m., but there's a warmth in his eyes that suggests he's not entirely heartless. Mr. Vitale is in a meeting and won't return until this evening. I'll show you to your room. My room. Not our room. I cling to that detail like a life raft. We walk through the penthouse and I try to memorize the layout, a survival instinct I didn't know I possessed until last night. Living room with leather furniture that probably costs more than a car. Dining room with a table that could seat 20. A kitchen that looks like it belongs in a 5-star restaurant, all stainless steel and granite. How many people live here? I ask, my voice echoing slightly in the cavernous space. Just Mr. Vitale, Marco replies. Those staff come during the day. Housekeeper, chef, security. You'll meet them as needed. Just Dante. The thought sends a chill down my spine. All this space, all this luxury, and he lives here alone. What kind of life is that? Marco leads me down a hallway lined with abstract art that probably belongs in a museum. He stops at a door near the end and opens it, gesturing for me to enter. This is your suite. Suite is an understatement. The bedroom is enormous, decorated in soft grays and creams that should be soothing but somehow feel clinical. A king-sized bed dominates one wall, dressed in sheets that look like they cost more than my monthly rent. There's a sitting area with a velvet couch, a desk, a walk-in closet already filled with clothes I didn't own yesterday. Mr. Vitale had your size sent to his personal shopper, Marco explains, following my gaze to the closet. If anything doesn't fit or suit your taste, simply let Maria know. She's the housekeeper, and she'll arrange replacements. I move to the closet like a sleepwalker. Designer labels I've only seen in magazines hang in neat rows. Dresses, blouses, slacks, all in my size. Shoes lined up like soldiers, heels, flats, boots. Everything chosen by a stranger who somehow knows my measurements. The violation of it makes my skin crawl. Your bathroom is through there. Marco points to another door. Mr. Vitale's suite is at the opposite end of the penthouse. You won't be disturbed. Won't be disturbed. Code for, he won't be touching you. At least not yet. The relief I feel is sharp and immediate, followed quickly by confusion. If this is a marriage, even a fake one, what exactly does Dante expect from me? As if reading my thoughts, Marco produces an envelope from his jacket. Mr. Vitale asked me to give you this. It outlines expectations. I take the envelope with numb fingers. The paper is heavy, expensive, with Dante's initials embossed in the corner. Of course, even his stationery screams power. I'll leave you to settle in, Marco says gently. If you need anything, there's an intercom system. Press 0 and someone will assist you. Breakfast is at 8, lunch at noon, dinner at 7. Mr. Vitale expects punctuality. He leaves and I'm finally alone in my gilded cage. I sink onto the edge of the bed and open the envelope with shaking hands. Inside I find a single page typed in crisp, business-like font. Expectations for Elena Vitale. You will attend all social functions and family gatherings at my side. Your behavior will be beyond reproach. You are to present as a loving, devoted wife at all times when in public. You will not leave the penthouse without security detail. This is non-negotiable. There are people who would harm you to hurt me. You will not contact your previous associates without approval. This includes friends, former employers, and extended family. Your father is the sole exception. You will respect the privacy of my business. What you see and hear in this home stays in this home. Discretion is paramount. Your physical person is your own. I will not touch you without your explicit consent. However, public displays of affection may be necessary to maintain appearances. You will receive a monthly allowance of $10,000 for personal expenses. Additional funds are available upon request for approved purchases. At the end of 24 months, provided all terms of our agreement have been met, you will receive $5 million and a clean severance from the Vitale family. Failure to comply with these terms will result in immediate termination of our agreement and forfeiture of all compensation. DV. I read it 3 times, each word sinking in like stones in water. This is my life now. A contract wife with rules and regulations. A prisoner in a penthouse with a $10,000 allowance. The laugh that escapes me is sharp, bordering on hysterical. 24 months. I just have to survive 24 months. My phone buzzes and I nearly drop it in my scramble to answer. An unknown number, but I know, it's about my father. Hello? Miss Moretti. A smooth, professional voice. This is Dr. Castellano. I'm calling with an update on your father's condition. My heart stops. Is he? He's stable, the doctor assures me quickly. The surgery went well. We removed the bullet, repaired the damage, and he's recovering in ICU. He's not awake yet, but his vitals are strong. I'm optimistic about his prognosis. The relief nearly buckles my knees. I sit down hard on the bed, pressing a hand to my mouth to keep from sobbing. Can I see him? There's a pause. Mr. Vitale has requested that you wait until your father is conscious and stable enough for visitors. He doesn't want you to be distressed by seeing him in his current state. But I assure you he's receiving the best care available. Translation: Dante is controlling when and how I see my own father. The relief curdles into resentment, but I force myself to sound grateful. Thank you, doctor. Please keep me updated on any changes. Of course. Mr. Vitale has made it very clear that your father's recovery is his top priority. The call ends and I'm left staring at my phone, emotions warring inside me. My father is alive. That's what matters. But the cost. I spend the rest of the morning exploring my new prison. The penthouse has 13 rooms, not counting bathrooms. There's a library with leather-bound books that look like they've never been opened, a gym with equipment that would make a professional athlete weep, and a media room with a screen the size of my bedroom wall. Everything is pristine, perfect, cold. There are no photographs. No personal touches. Nothing that suggests Dante Vitale is a human being with a history or a heart. I'm examining a painting in the hallway, something dark and violent with slashes of red that might be blood or roses, when I hear the front door open. My entire body tenses. It's only noon. Marco said Dante wouldn't be back until evening. Elena. His voice carries through the penthouse, deep and commanding. Not a question. A summons. I force myself to walk toward the living room, my heart hammering against my ribs. He's standing by the windows, still in his suit from last night, though he's lost the jacket. His white shirt is unbuttoned at the collar, revealing a glimpse of tan skin, and his sleeves are rolled up to his elbows, exposing forearms corded with muscle. He looks like sin and power, and I hate that I notice. You received my expectations, he says without preamble, not bothering to turn around. Yes. Any questions? I have about 1,000 questions, but I force myself to focus on the most important one. When can I see my father? Now he turns and those gray eyes pin me in place. In the daylight, he's even more devastating than he was last night. Sharp jaw, high cheekbones, a mouth that looks like it rarely smiles. There's a hardness to him, a brutality barely contained beneath the expensive suit. Dr. Castellano tells me he's stable. You can visit tomorrow with security. I want to see him alone. No. The word is absolute, leaving no room for negotiation. I feel my temper flare. I've been pushed around enough in the last 12 hours, and I step forward, fists clenched. He's my father. I have a right. You have no rights here except what I grant you. Dante closes the distance between us in 3 strides, and suddenly he's looming over me, all 6'3" of him radiating danger. You need to understand something, Elena. In my world, family is leverage. Your father's condition is known to my enemies. If you visit him alone, you become a target. And targets in my world have a tendency to end up dead. The bluntness steals my breath. Are you saying someone would hurt him? Hurt me? I'm saying that the moment you signed that contract, you painted a target on your back. My enemies will see you as a weakness, something to exploit. So yes, if I let you wander around unprotected, someone would absolutely try to hurt you. Or worse. His eyes bore into mine. I may be a monster, but I keep my word. I promise to protect your father, and I will. That protection extends to you now, whether you want it or not. I should be terrified. This close to him, I can see the violence lurking beneath his civilized exterior, the predator wearing human skin. But beneath the fear, there's something else. A strange, unwelcome awareness of his proximity, the heat radiating from his body, the way his gaze drops briefly to my mouth before returning to my eyes. I'm not weak, I hear myself say, lifting my chin. I can handle myself. Something flickers in his expression. Surprise, maybe, or respect. We'll see about that. He steps back and I can breathe again. He moves to a bar cart in the corner, pours himself 2 fingers of whiskey despite it being barely noon, and takes a slow sip while studying me over the rim of his glass. You're not what I expected, he says finally. What did you expect? Tears. Begging. Maybe an attempted escape. His lips curve into something that might be amusement. You're angry instead. Good. Anger will serve you better than fear in this world. I'm both, I admit, surprising myself with the honesty. Angry and terrified. But you're right about one thing, tears won't change anything. So I might as well save them. Dante sets down his glass and regards me with those penetrating eyes. Your father spoke of you often, did you know that? In our meetings over the years. He was proud of you. Your college degree, your independence. He kept you separate from his business deliberately. The mention of my father stirs the anger again. And you respected that separation by forcing me into this. I gave you a choice. Die or marry you isn't a choice. It's an ultimatum. Welcome to my world. He sounds almost bitter. Nothing here is fair, Elena. The sooner you accept that, the easier this will be. I want to scream at him, to rage against the injustice of it all. But he's right, nothing will change. So instead, I ask the question that's been eating at me since last night. Why? Why a wife? Why not just, I don't know, kill my father and take what he owned? Why go through all this? Dante is quiet for a long moment, his expression unreadable. When he speaks, his voice is carefully neutral. I have my reasons. They don't concern you. They concern me if I'm the one playing dress up as your wife for 2 years. His jaw tightens, the first real sign of emotion I've seen from him. Let's just say that in my line of work, having a wife provides certain advantages. Legitimacy. Stability. It makes me look more human to the people I do business with. So I'm a prop. You're a solution to a problem. He picks up his glass again, downs the rest of the whiskey. Don't take it personally. This arrangement benefits us both. You get money in your father's life. I get what I need. It's business. Business. He says it like that makes everything okay, like reducing my entire existence to a transaction is somehow reasonable. I bite back the angry retort threatening to spill out. I need to pick my battles carefully with this man. Fine, I say instead, forcing my voice to stay level. If I'm going to be your wife, even a fake one, I need to know more about you. About your world. I can't play the part convincingly if I don't know what I'm dealing with. Interest flickers in his eyes. What do you want to know? Everything. Your business, your enemies, your family. The rules of this world you're dragging me into. He studies me for so long I start to wonder if he'll refuse. Then to my surprise he nods. All right. Sit. I settle onto the leather couch and he takes the chair across from me, leaning back with the ease of a king on his throne. The Vitale family has controlled Chicago's underworld for 3 generations, he begins. We run the north side, gambling, protection, certain import businesses. The south side belongs to the Romano family. We have an understanding. They stay in their territory, we stay in ours. And if someone crosses that line? Then people die. He says it so matter-of-factly that I feel sick. But the Romanos aren't our biggest problem right now. There's a Russian syndicate trying to move into the city. The Kozlov family, the same ones your father borrowed from before he came to me. The name sends ice through my veins. Are they the ones who would try to hurt me? Among others. The Russians are brutal, impulsive. They don't follow the old rules. His expression darkens. Your father got tangled up with them last year when he needed money fast. He was desperate, and desperate men make stupid choices. I bailed him out, took over his debt. But the Kozlovs don't forget easily. They see you as a way to get to me. Because I'm your wife now. Exactly. The weight of it settles over me like a shroud. I'm not just married to a monster, I'm a target for other monsters. And your family? Will they accept me? Dante's laugh is sharp, humorless. My uncle Antonio runs the family's legitimate businesses. He'll tolerate you because he has to. My cousin Luca handles enforcement, you'll rarely see him. And my mother. He pauses, something complicated crossing his features. She lives in Italy. She won't be a problem. There's a story there I can tell, but I don't push. Not yet. What about friends? Do you have any? Friends are liabilities in my world. He stands, signaling the end of the conversation. I have associates, soldiers, people who serve a purpose. But friends? No. The admission should probably make me feel better. At least he's honest about being a monster. Instead, it makes me sad. What kind of life has he led that trust is impossible? You should rest, he says, moving toward the door. Tonight we're having dinner with my uncle. He wants to meet my new wife. Wear something appropriate, designer, elegant, nothing too revealing. Maria will help you. He's almost out of the room when I call after him. Dante. He pauses, glancing back. Thank you. For saving my father. For just a moment, something human flickers in those cold gray eyes. Then it's gone, replaced by his usual mask of indifference. Don't thank me yet, Elena. You haven't seen the bill. He leaves, and I'm alone again in the beautiful, terrible penthouse that is now my home. I allow myself exactly 5 minutes to cry. 5 minutes to grieve for my old life, my freedom, my innocence. Then I wipe my eyes, straighten my spine, and start preparing for war. Because if I'm going to survive the next 24 months married to Dante Vitale, I'll need to be more than just a contract bride. I'll need to be smart, strong, unbreakable. And maybe, just maybe, I'll need to understand the man who owns me. The man with no friends, no heart, no mercy. The man I'm terrified of. The man I can't stop thinking about. God help me. Chapter 2, A City Built on Blood. The restaurant is the kind of place that doesn't have prices on the menu. I sit beside Dante in a private dining room with walls the color of old blood and lighting dim enough to hide secrets. His uncle Antonio sits across from us, a man in his 60s with silver hair and cold, calculating eyes that remind me uncomfortably of Dante's. Beside him is his wife, Sophia, dripping in diamonds and judgment. So, Antonio says, swirling wine in his glass. A whirlwind romance. How unexpected. There's disbelief in every syllable. He doesn't buy the loving couple act for a second, and he's not bothering to pretend otherwise. Dante's hand finds mine under the table, his grip firm enough to remind me of my role. When you know, he says smoothly, bringing our joined hands above the table to press a kiss to my knuckles. The gesture looks romantic. Feels like a chain. I force myself to smile, playing the part of the besotted bride. It was very sudden, I agree, my voice steady despite the nausea rolling through me. But Dante swept me off my feet. Sophia's perfectly sculpted eyebrows rise. And what do you do, dear? For work. The condescension is thick enough to cut. She's already decided I'm not good enough, that I'm some gold digger who trapped her nephew. If only she knew how wrong she was. I was a waitress, I say truthfully. No point in lying about something they can easily verify. At Rossi's in Little Italy. A waitress. Sophia exchanges a look with her husband. How charming. Elena is taking time away from work to adjust to her new life. Dante cuts in, his voice carrying a warning edge. I want her focused on being my wife, not serving other people. Antonio leans back in his chair, studying us both. And Giuseppe? How does he feel about this match? I'm surprised he wasn't at the wedding. The wedding. Right. There wasn't one, just a contract signed in blood and fear. But the official story I learned from Maria this afternoon is that we eloped in a fit of passion. My father is ill, I say, letting real emotion creep into my voice. He's recovering from surgery. but he gave us his blessing. It's not entirely a lie. My father would want me alive even if the cost is this nightmare. Antonio doesn't look convinced, but he nods slowly. I see. And you're prepared for what being a Vitale means? The scrutiny, the danger, the complications. I love your nephew, I lie, meeting his gaze without flinching. I'll handle whatever comes. Love. Antonio tastes the word like it's foreign. In our family, love is a luxury. Power is what matters. Loyalty. Strength. His eyes bore into mine. I hope you have all three, Elena. For your sake. The threat is clear. Step out of line and he'll deal with me himself. Dante's hand tightens on mine. My wife is under my protection. Anyone who threatens her answers to me. His voice drops to something dangerous. That includes family. The temperature in the room plummets. Antonio stares at his nephew, surprise flickering across his features before his expression hardens. Of course. I meant no disrespect. I simply want to ensure the girl knows what she's gotten herself into. She knows. Dante releases my hand to pick up his wine glass. And she's proven she can handle it. Let's move on to business. They spend the next hour discussing things in careful code, shipments and negotiations and territory disputes. I stay quiet, playing the dutiful wife who doesn't ask questions. But I listen. I absorb. These men talk about violence like it's weather, about people's lives like they're chess pieces. And Dante is the coldest of them all. When Antonio mentions a problem with a competitor, Dante's solution is swift and brutal. Handle it permanently. I don't want loose ends. Handle it permanently. Code for murder. I keep my face blank, but inside horror churns. This is the man I've married. This is the world I'm trapped in. By the time we leave the restaurant, I'm exhausted from maintaining the facade. Marco drives us home in silence while Dante works on his phone, his face illuminated by the screen's glow. He looks almost beautiful like this, sharp features cast in light and shadow, utterly absorbed in whatever he's reading. Then his expression darkens and he makes a call. Luca. We have a problem. His voice is ice. The Kozlovs hit one of our warehouses on the south side. 3 men dead, 100,000 in product gone. My breath catches. 3 men dead. Just like that, stated as casually as reporting the weather. I want everyone in my office in an hour, Dante continues. And find out who talked. Someone gave them our location. He ends the call and finally looks at me. When we get home, you go straight to your room and stay there. Lock the door. What's happening? Nothing you need to worry about. But his jaw is tight, his eyes hard. This is the part where you don't ask questions and do as you're told. Fear prickles down my spine. Are we in danger? I'm always in danger. Now you are too. He turns back to his phone. Welcome to my world, Elena. The penthouse transforms into a war room within the hour. I'm locked in my suite as ordered, but I can hear voices through the walls, angry, urgent, dangerous. I pace my room like a caged animal, jumping at every raised voice, every slammed door. Around midnight, I hear footsteps in the hallway. Then Dante's voice, cold with fury, I want names. Someone betrayed us, and I want them bleeding in front of me by morning. Bleeding. The word conjures images I wish I could unsee. My father's blood on my hands. The warehouse last night. Violence follows Dante like a shadow, and now it follows me too. I'm standing at my window staring out at the Chicago skyline, when I hear it, the faintest click of my door handle turning. Ice floods my veins. I locked that door. I know I locked it. The handle turns again more insistently. Then a soft knock. Mrs. Vitale. A man's voice, unfamiliar. Mr. Vitale sent me to check on you. Every instinct screams danger. Dante told me to lock myself in. He wouldn't send someone to check on me in the middle of a crisis. I'm fine, I call out, backing away from the door. Thank you. I really should see you. Make sure you're comfortable. My heart pounds. The voice is pleasant, but there's something wrong about it. Something false. I said I'm fine. Please leave. Silence. Then, open the door, Mrs. Vitale. I'd hate for this to get unpleasant. Oh God. This isn't one of Dante's men. This is someone else. Someone who shouldn't be here. I grab my phone with shaking hands and pull up Dante's contact. But before I can hit call, I hear a soft scraping sound. Lock picks. He's breaking in. Panic explodes through me. I look around desperately for a weapon, for anything. My eyes land on a heavy marble bookend on the desk. I grab it just as the door swings open. The man who enters is tall, lean, with cold blue eyes and a smile that makes my skin crawl. He's dressed like he belongs here, Dark suit, crisp shirt, but I can see the gun holstered under his jacket. "There you are," he says pleasantly. "You're a hard woman to get to alone. Who are you?" I back toward the window, the bookend hidden behind my back. "I'm someone who has a message for your husband." He closes the door behind him, advancing slowly. "The Kozlovs don't appreciate his interference in our business. They wanted me to deliver something personal. Something that would really hurt." "He means me. He means to hurt me, to hurt Dante." "Dante will kill you," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. "You won't make it out of this building alive." "Worth it." His smile widens. "Do you know how much they're paying me for this?" "Enough to retire on a beach somewhere far from Chicago." He's 3 feet away when he reaches for me. I swing the book in with everything I have. It connects with his temple with a sickening crack. He staggers, blood blooming across his forehead, and I don't wait to see if it's enough. I bolt past him, yanking the door open and running. "Dante!" I scream, my voice raw with terror. "Dante!" Behind me, I hear the man curse, hear his footsteps pounding after me. I run blindly down the hallway, my bare feet slipping on the polished floors. I make it to the living room before he catches me, his hand fisting in my hair and yanking me backward. I scream again, thrashing, kicking, fighting with everything I have. "You little bitch," he snarls, and I see the flash of a knife in his hand. Then the world explodes with violence. Dante appears like a dark angel, all controlled fury and lethal grace. He moves so fast I barely see it. One moment the man has me, the next Dante's hand is wrapped around his throat, slamming him into the wall so hard the drywall cracks. "You touched my wife," Dante says, his voice eerily calm. "That was a mistake." The man claws at Dante's hand, gasping for air, but Dante's grip is iron. His other hand moves and I hear the distinctive click of a gun being cocked. "No," the man chokes out. "Please?" Dante presses the gun to his temple. "Who sent you?" "Kozlov, Alexei Kozlov." "How did you get in?" "Service entrance, bribed, security?" Dante's expression doesn't change. "Thank you for the information." He pulls the trigger. I scream, turning away, but not before I see the man's body crumple to the floor. Blood sprays across the white wall, across Dante's shirt, across the pristine marble floor. My legs give out. I sink to the ground, shaking so hard my teeth chatter. There's ringing in my ears from the gunshot, and I can't seem to catch my breath. Then Dante is in front of me, his hands on my face, forcing me to look at him instead of the body. "Elena, look at me. Are you hurt?" I can't speak. Can't think. There's blood on his hands, on his shirt, and all I can see is the man falling, the life leaving his eyes. "Elena." Dante's voice sharpens. "Did he hurt you?" I manage to shake my head, and relief flashes across his features. He pulls me against his chest, his arms wrapping around me like a shield. I can feel his heart pounding, can feel the tension vibrating through his body. "You're safe," he murmurs into my hair. "I've got you. You're safe." I cling to him because he's solid, real, the only stable thing in a world that's just tilted violently off its axis. He's also the man who just killed someone in front of me without hesitation, but right now he's all I have. "Luca," Dante calls, and I hear footsteps approaching. "Clean this up. And find out who on our security team took a bribe. I want them dealt with. Dealt with. More death. Get every man we have on the Kozlov location," Dante continues, his voice hard. "I want Alexei in front of me by dawn. Alive. Boss. Do it." Dante's arms tighten around me. "And check every inch of this building. If there's one rat, there might be more." Men move around us with efficient, practiced movements. I keep my face buried in Dante's chest, refusing to look at what they're cleaning up. "Can you walk?" Dante asks me quietly. I nod, though I'm not sure it's true. He helps me to my feet, keeping one arm around my waist, and guides me away from the living room. We end up in his office, a room I haven't seen before, all dark wood and leather and floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. He deposits me on a leather couch and crouches in front of me, his hands on my knees. "Elena, look at me." I force myself to meet his eyes. In the lamplight they look less gray, more silver. Almost gentle, if that's even possible for a man like him. "You did good," he says. "You fought. You survived. That bookend to the head was smart." I heard him. My voice sounds strange, distant. "You should have killed him." There's no judgment in his tone, just fact. In this world, mercy is weakness. You show mercy, you end up dead. Tears burn my eyes. I don't want to be in this world. "I know." He stands, moving to a bar cart and pouring amber liquid into a glass. He brings it back to me. "Drink." It'll help with the shock. I take the glass with trembling hands and sip. Whiskey burns down my throat, sharp and grounding. I take another sip, then another until the shaking starts to subside. Dante watches me with an unreadable expression. His shirt is ruined, splattered with blood, but he doesn't seem to care. There's a smear of red on his jaw that he hasn't noticed. He was going to kill me, I whisper. Yes. Because of you. Because I'm your wife. Yes. He doesn't flinch from the truth. This is what I warned you about. You're a target now. My enemies will use you to hurt me. Then let me go. The words burst out of me, desperate. Tear up the contract. I'll disappear. You won't have to worry about protecting me. His expression hardens. No. Why not? I'm just a liability to you. You're my wife. He says it with such finality that it steals my breath. In my world, that means something. It means I protect you with my life if necessary. It means anyone who touches you dies screaming. He killed that man for me. Without hesitation, without mercy. And somehow, in this twisted world that's supposed to be romantic. I didn't ask for this, I say, my voice breaking. Any of this. I know. For just a moment, something like regret flickers in his eyes. But it's too late now. You're in this, Elena. The only way out is through. Through 24 months of danger and violence and fear. Through a marriage to a man who kills without blinking. Through a world where love is a liability and mercy is weakness. I finish the whiskey and set the glass down with a sharp click. Fine. Then teach me. He blinks. What? Teach me how to survive this world. I stand, forcing steel into my spine despite the lingering tremors. You said mercy is weakness, that I should have killed him. Fine. Then teach me how. Teach me to fight, to shoot, to think like you do. If I'm going to be a target, I won't be a defenseless one. Dante stares at me for a long moment, and I see surprise flash across his features. Then something else, something that looks almost like admiration. You're serious. Deadly serious. The pun isn't intentional, but it fits. You own the next 24 months of my life, Dante. Make them count. Make me strong enough to survive them. A slow smile spreads across his face, the first genuine smile I've seen from him. It transforms him, makes him look younger, almost human. All right, Elena Vitale. He offers his hand. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. We start your training. I take his hand, his blood-stained hand, and shake it firmly. I'll be ready. As he walks me back to my suite, this time with 3 armed guards posted in the hallway, I realize something terrifying. I'm not just surviving anymore. I'm adapting, evolving, becoming something new, something dangerous. And Dante Vitale, the monster I married, might be the only one who can teach me how. Chapter 3, A Marriage of Shadows. 6 a.m. comes too early. I'm already awake when my alarm goes off, having spent most of the night replaying the assassination attempt in my head. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the man falling, the blood spraying, Dante's cold expression as he pulled the trigger. I should be traumatized, broken. Instead, I feel something else entirely, determination. I dress in the workout clothes Maria left for me, black leggings, a fitted tank top, sneakers, and pull my hair into a tight ponytail. When I look in the mirror, I barely recognize myself. The soft, naive waitress is gone, replaced by someone harder. Someone who survived. The gym is on the lower level of the penthouse, and I find Dante already there, dressed in athletic pants and a fitted black t-shirt that shows off the kind of body that doesn't come from casual workouts. He's wrapping his hands in tape, movements practiced and efficient. You came, he says without looking up. I said I would. People say a lot of things. He finishes with his left hand and starts on his right. Especially when they're scared. I expected you to stay in bed and pretend last night didn't happen. Would that make you respect me more or less? Now he looks at me and there's something approving in his eyes. Less. I have no use for cowards. Then you're in luck. I'm terrified, but I'm not a coward. A hint of a smile touches his lips. We'll see. He nods toward a mat in the center of the room. Come here. I obey, my heart starting to pound for an entirely different reason. In the close quarters of the gym, I'm hyper-aware of him. His size, his strength, the controlled violence coiled in every muscle. First lesson, he says, circling me slowly. In a fight, size and strength matter, but they're not everything. Your opponent last night was bigger than you, stronger than you. But you won because you were smart. You used a weapon. You didn't hesitate. He stops in front of me. That's what I'm going to teach you, how to use your advantages, how to think like a predator instead of prey. And if I don't have a weapon? Then you make one. Or you become one. He moves behind me suddenly, and before I can react, his arm wraps around my throat in a chokehold. Not tight enough to hurt, but firm enough to trap me. Someone grabs you like this. What do you do? Panic flares instantly. I'm back in the hallway, the man's hand in my hair, the knife flashing. I struggle automatically, pulling at his arm. Wrong. Dante's voice is calm in my ear. You're wasting energy. Stop fighting and think. I force myself to still, to breathe through the instinctive terror. His arm is across my throat, his body pressed against my back. I'm trapped, but I'm not helpless. Good, he murmurs. Now what's vulnerable? I think. His arm position leaves his ribs exposed. His legs are slightly apart for balance. And his face is right behind my head. Your groin, I say. Your ribs. Your face. Exactly. I feel him nod. So you have 3 options. Elbow to the ribs, heel stomp to the instep, or throw your head back into my nose. Hard and fast. Make it count because you'll only get 1 shot. He releases me and steps back. Try it. Come at me like I'm your enemy. I hesitate. He's my teacher right now, but he's also the man who terrifies me. Attacking him feels wrong on multiple levels. Elena. His voice sharpens. In a real fight, hesitation gets you killed. Come at me. I move without thinking this time, closing the distance and throwing an elbow toward his ribs. He blocks it easily, his hand catching my arm mid-strike. Faster, he says. And commit. You pulled that punch. I don't want to hurt you. You can't hurt me. There's no arrogance in it, just fact. But one day you might hurt someone else. Someone who wants you dead. So stop being gentle and hit me like you mean it. Something in his words unlocks something in me. All the fear, all the anger, all the helplessness of the last 3 days, I channel it into my next strike. This time when I throw the elbow, I put everything behind it. Dante blocks it again, but I see satisfaction flash in his eyes. Better. Again. We drill the movement over and over until my arm aches and sweat drips down my back. Elbow strikes, knee strikes, palm heels to the nose. He shows me where to hit, how to hit, and most importantly, how to commit to the violence without freezing. You have good instincts, he says after an hour, tossing me a water bottle. You just need to trust them. I catch the bottle and drink gratefully, my muscles burning. How did you learn all this? My father started training me when I was 6. He strips off his shirt unself-consciously, using it to wipe sweat from his face, and I try not to stare at the landscape of scars crossing his torso. Knife wounds, bullet wounds, things I don't want to identify. In our world, you learn to fight or you die young. Did you always know you'd take over the family business? I'm the oldest son. There was never another option. He tosses the shirt aside and moves to a heavy bag hanging in the corner. My father believed in preparation. Fighting, shooting, strategy, psychology. He taught me that power is everything, that mercy is weakness, that family is the only thing worth dying for. Did you believe him? Dante's fist connects with the bag in a devastating combination. Jab, cross, hook. The bag swings wildly. I believed him until he got himself killed being merciful to the wrong person. Then I learned the lesson for real. There's pain beneath the words, carefully hidden but still there. How old were you? 22. Another combination, harder this time. Old enough to take over. Young enough to make mistakes. The first year was brutal. Every family in Chicago tested me, tried to take what was mine. I had to prove I was stronger than my father, more ruthless, more willing to do what needed to be done. And did you? He stops hitting the bag and looks at me, his eyes dark. I'm still here, aren't I? The implication is clear. His enemies aren't. We spend another hour on defensive techniques before Dante calls it quits. I'm exhausted, sore, and oddly exhilarated. For the first time since signing that contract, I feel like I have some measure of control. Tomorrow, same time, Dante says as I head for the door. And Elena? What you learn in this room stays between us. I don't want my uncle or anyone else knowing I'm training you. I pause. Why not? Because knowledge is power. The less people know about what you're capable of, the safer you are. He picks up his shirt. In my world, the element of surprise is often the difference between life and death. I nod, understanding. I'm not just learning to fight. I'm learning to survive in a world where everyone is a potential threat. The routine becomes almost normal over the next week. Morning training with Dante, where he pushes me until I'm trembling with exhaustion. Afternoons spent exploring the penthouse, reading in the library, or speaking with my father on the phone. He's awake now, recovering, kept safely in a private facility under 24-hour guard. Evenings where Dante and I maintain our facade of married bliss at various social functions. We attend charity galas where criminals in expensive suits drink champagne and make deals. Family dinners where his relatives assess me with calculating eyes. Business meetings where Dante's word is law and disobedience means death. And through it all, I learn. I learn that Dante takes his coffee black with 1 sugar. That he works until 3 a.m. most nights and rarely sleeps more than 4 hours. That he has a tell when he's angry, his jaw tightens and his left hand flexes. That he hates small talk but loves strategy, viewing every conversation as a chess match. I learned that Uncle Antonio is more dangerous than he seems, that Cousin Luca has a cruel streak a mile wide, and that the Romano family to the south is growing restless about Dante's expansion. I learned the names of Dante's enemies, his allies, his soldiers. I memorize faces and territories and old grudges that go back generations. And I learned that despite everything, despite the violence and the fear and the blood, I'm drawn to my husband in ways I don't understand and can't control. It happens in small moments. The way he absently touches the small of my back when we're in public, grounding and possessive. The rare smile that transforms his face when I land a good hit during training. The fierce protectiveness in his eyes when anyone looks at me too long. He's a monster, but he's my monster. And that terrifies me more than anything else. On the 8th night, we attend a fundraiser at the Art Institute. I wear a black dress that costs more than my old car, with diamonds at my throat that Dante fastened himself, his fingers brushing my skin with surprising gentleness. "You look beautiful," he murmured, his breath warm against my ear. Now, as we move through the gallery surrounded by Chicago's elite, his hand rests possessively on my hip. We're playing our parts perfectly, the loving couple, the powerful mafia boss and his devoted wife. Dante. A man approaches, silver-haired and distinguished, with cold eyes that remind me of a snake. "I heard you got married." I had to see it to believe it. "Vittorio." Dante's voice is carefully neutral. "I wasn't aware you were in Chicago. Just passing through. Business with the Romanos." Vittorio's gaze slides to me, assessing and hungry. "You must be the new Mrs. Vitale." Dante always did have exquisite taste. The way he looks at me makes my skin crawl. I move infinitesimally closer to Dante, and his arm tightens around me immediately. "My wife is off limits," Dante says softly, dangerously. "I hope that's clear." Of course. Vittorio holds up his hands, but his smile doesn't reach his eyes. "I meant no disrespect. I'm simply surprised. I never thought I'd see the day Dante Vitale settled down. Things change. Indeed they do." Vittorio's gaze lingers on me for a moment too long before he nods and walks away. "Who was that?" I ask quietly once he's out of earshot. "Trouble." Dante's expression is dark. "Vittorio Santoro. He runs weapons through the southern ports. We have a complicated history." "Bad complicated?" "The worst kind." He guides me toward a quieter corner of the gallery. "He made a move against my family years ago. Tried to kill my father and take over our territory. My father showed mercy, let him live. It was the decision that eventually got him killed." "And you?" "I won't make my father's mistake." His eyes find mine, and in them I see absolute certainty. If Vittorio comes after what's mine, I'll end him. "What's mine?" He means me. I should hate being spoken of like property, but instead I feel something else. Protected. "Say," claimed. "Come on," Dante says, taking my hand. "Let's get out of here. I need to show you something." He leads me through the museum, past security guards who nod respectfully, down a service corridor that guests aren't supposed to access. We end up in a storage room filled with crated artwork. "What are we doing here?" I ask, confused. Instead of answering, Dante moves to a specific crate and opens it with practiced ease. Inside, nestled in protective foam, is a painting. He lifts it carefully, turning it so I can see. It's breathtaking, a Renaissance piece, a Madonna and Child rendered in gorgeous detail worth millions. "This was stolen from the Uffizi Gallery in Florence 3 years ago," Dante says quietly. "The thieves were never caught. The painting was never recovered." My eyes widen. "You stole it?" "No. But I know who did and I know where it is." He carefully replaces the painting in its crate. "The thief offered to sell it to me. I declined." "Why are you showing me this?" He turns to face me, and his expression is strange, vulnerable in a way I've never seen. "Because I want you to understand something about me. I'm a criminal, Elena. I do terrible things. I hurt people, I break laws, I live in darkness. But I have lines I won't cross. Stealing art, human trafficking, drugs that destroy lives. These things I don't touch. Not for money, not for power, not for anything. You have a code, I say slowly, understanding. A code that would get me killed if my enemies knew about it. A code that makes me weak in their eyes. He steps closer and I can feel the heat radiating from his body. But it's what keeps me human. What keeps me from becoming a complete monster. I should step back, maintain distance. Instead, I reach up and touch his face, my fingers tracing the sharp line of his jaw. You're not a complete monster. You don't know what I've done. No. But I'm starting to know who you are. My hand moves to his chest, feeling his heart beating strong and fast beneath my palm. You saved my father. You're training me to survive. You kill to protect what's yours. That doesn't make you good, but it doesn't make you completely evil either. Elena. The way he says my name is different tonight, rough with something I can't identify. His hand comes up to cover mine against his chest. You should hate me. I know. But you don't. It's not a question, but I answer anyway. No. I don't. The moment stretches between us, heavy with tension and possibility. His other hand comes up to cup my face, his thumb brushing my cheekbone with surprising gentleness. This wasn't supposed to happen, he murmurs. What wasn't? This. You. His eyes search mine. I was supposed to stay detached. Keep you at a distance. But you're? He trails off, seeming to struggle for words. I'm what? Dangerous, he finally says. You're dangerous to me in ways I didn't anticipate. My breath catches. Dante. I should take you home. But he doesn't move, doesn't release me. His gaze drops to my lips and I see hunger there, raw and undeniable. Then why don't you? Because I'm trying to be honorable. Trying to keep my word that I wouldn't touch you without permission. His voice drops lower, rougher. But you're making it very difficult. My heart pounds so hard I'm sure he can hear it. I should pull away, remind him of the contract, the boundaries. Instead, I whisper, what if I give you permission? His eyes flare. Elena. Kiss me. If I start, I won't want to stop. Then don't. For one more heartbeat, he holds back. Then his control shatters. His mouth crashes against mine, demanding and desperate. I gasp and he takes advantage, deepening the kiss until I'm clinging to him for balance. His hands slide into my hair, angling my head to take more, and I surrender completely to the heat consuming us both. This isn't the gentle kiss he gave me for show in front of his family. This is raw need, barely controlled passion, two people who've been circling each other finally colliding. When we finally break apart, both breathing hard, I see shock in his eyes, mirroring my own. That, he says roughly, was a mistake. Was it? I'm still touching him, unable to make myself let go. Yes. Because now I know what you taste like and I'll want it again. He forces himself to step back, creating distance. We should go. Before I forget every rule I've set for myself. As we leave the storage room and return to the fundraiser, I'm acutely aware that something fundamental has shifted between us. We're not just captor and captive anymore, not just business partners in a contract marriage. We're something more dangerous. Something neither of us knows how to control. And in Dante Vitale's world, where control is everything, that might be the most dangerous thing of all. Chapter 4. The first kiss she never expected. I can't stop thinking about the kiss. It's been 2 days since the fundraiser, and Dante has been avoiding me. Oh, he's still polite. We have breakfast together, he checks in about my training with Marco, he's delegated that duty now, and we maintain our facade at public events. But the walls are back up higher than ever. He won't look at me the way he did in that storage room. Won't touch me unless absolutely necessary for appearances. And he definitely won't be alone with me. It's driving me insane. I'm lying in bed, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. when I hear it, a sound from somewhere in the penthouse. Not quite a shout but close. My heart jumps into my throat as I grab my phone, ready to call security. Then I hear it again and I realize it's coming from the direction of Dante's suite. A nightmare. He's having a nightmare. I should stay in my room. Respect his space. But something pulls me out of bed through the dark penthouse, down the hallway to his door. It's slightly ajar, and through the gap I can see him thrashing in his massive bed, sheets tangled around his bare torso. No. His voice is raw, broken in a way I've never heard. Father. My heart clenches. Without thinking, I push the door open and approach the bed. In sleep, stripped of his armor, Dante looks younger. Vulnerable. Human. Dante. I touch his shoulder gently. Wake up. He moves so fast I barely register it. 1 second I'm standing beside the bed, The next I'm pinned beneath him, his hand around my throat, his eyes wild and unfocused. Dante. I gasp, not fighting, forcing myself to stay calm even as panic claws at my chest. It's me. It's Elena. Recognition slowly filters into his eyes. The wildness fades, replaced by horror. He releases me immediately, rolling away like I've burned him. Cristo, he breathes, his accent thickening with emotion. Elena, I'm sorry, did I hurt you? I sit up, rubbing my throat. It's not injured, just slightly tender. I'm fine. You were having a nightmare. You shouldn't be here. He's breathing hard, running his hands through his hair. In the moonlight streaming through the windows, I can see the sheen of sweat on his skin, the tremor in his hands. You should have called someone else. There is no one else. I move closer, cautiously, like approaching a wounded animal. Talk to me. What were you dreaming about? It doesn't matter. It does if it makes you scream in your sleep. He's quiet for a long moment, his jaw working. Then, so softly I almost miss it, my father's death. I dream about it sometimes. Watching him bleed out, unable to save him. The raw pain in his voice breaks something in me. I reach out and take his hand, lacing our fingers together. I'm sorry. It was 10 years ago. I should be over it by now. You don't get over losing a parent. You just learn to carry the weight. I squeeze his hand. My mother died when I was 15. Cancer. I still dream about her sometimes, about the hospital, the machines. It never really goes away. He looks at our joined hands, then at my face, and something shifts in his expression. I didn't know about your mother. I don't talk about it much. I offer a small smile. We have that in common, carrying ghosts. Too many ghosts. He lifts his free hand to my throat, his fingers ghosting over where he grabbed me. I could have hurt you. If you'd struggled, if my instincts had taken over. But you didn't. You came back to yourself. I turn my face into his palm and he goes very still. You wouldn't hurt me, Dante. You don't know that. You don't know what I'm capable of. Then tell me. I shift closer until our knees are touching on the bed. No more walls, no more distance. Tell me who you really are. He stares at me for a long moment and I see the war behind his eyes, the part of him that wants to push me away battling with the part that's tired of being alone. Finally he speaks. I was 8 years old the first time I killed someone. The confession hangs in the air between us. I don't pull away, don't let go of his hand. Tell me. We were ambushed. My father and I, coming back from visiting my grandmother in the suburbs. 3 men, armed, determined to take us both out. My father was shot in the shoulder, couldn't reach his weapon. One of them came for me. He closes his eyes. My father always made me carry a knife. I practiced with it hundreds of times, but it was always training dummies, targets. Not a real person. But you used it. I had to. He was going to kill me, then kill my father. So He opens his eyes and they're haunted. I stabbed him. Kept stabbing until he stopped moving. I was covered in blood. I couldn't stop shaking. But he was dead and we were alive. I can picture it too clearly, a child forced to become a killer to survive. That must have been terrifying. My father was proud. Said I'd proven myself, that I had what it took to lead the family one day. His laugh is bitter. I threw up for hours afterward. Had nightmares for months. But I learned the lesson, hesitate and you die. That's not a lesson a child should have to learn. No. But that's the world I was born into. He looks at me. That's why I avoided you after the kiss. Because you're different, Elena. You're not from this world. You still have softness, kindness, innocence. And I'm terrified I'll destroy all of that just by being close to you. My breath catches. You won't. You don't know. I do know. I move even closer until I'm kneeling in front of him, our faces inches apart. I know that you saved my father's life. I know you've been patient with me, training me, protecting me. I know you have nightmares about your father, which means you loved him. That you have a code, lines you won't cross. You're not just a monster, Dante. You're a man who's been forced to do monstrous things. There's a difference. He reaches up to cup my face, his touch achingly gentle. How can you look at me like that? Like I'm something worth saving? Because you are. I lean into his touch. And maybe I'm tired of being afraid. Tired of keeping distance. We're married. A contract. I don't care what the paper says. The words rush out of me, fueled by 2 days of frustration and longing. That kiss changed things and you know it. I feel it, this pull between us. Don't tell me you don't feel it too. I feel it. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. Cristo, Elena, I feel it constantly. It's why I've been avoiding you. Because feeling things, wanting things, makes you weak in my world. And I can't afford to be weak. What if being with me makes you stronger? He makes a sound somewhere between a laugh and a groan. You're dangerous to me. Good. I close the last inch between us, my lips a breath away from his. Be dangerous with me. This time when we kiss, it's different from the desperate collision at the fundraiser. This is slower, deeper, weighted with everything we've admitted tonight. His hands slide into my hair, cradling my head like I'm something precious, and I melt into him. When his tongue traces my lower lip, I gasp and he takes advantage, exploring my mouth with thorough intensity. Heat pools low in my belly, unfamiliar and intoxicating. I've never felt like this before, never wanted someone with this consuming need. My hands find his bare chest, tracing the map of scars I've memorized during training. He groans against my mouth, his control starting to slip, and suddenly I'm being lowered onto my back, his weight pressing me into the mattress. Elena. He breaks the kiss, his breathing ragged. We should stop. Why? I'm breathless, dizzy, completely undone. Because, he pulls back slightly, looking down at me with dark eyes. Christo, how have you never? He stops, staring at me. You haven't, have you? Heat floods my face. I turn my head away, embarrassed. I don't know what you mean. Elena. His hand gently turns my face back to his. Have you ever been with anyone? Intimately? The shame is scorching. At 24, I'm probably the only virgin in Chicago. No. I was going to join a convent, remember? I was saving myself for, I break off, unable to finish. Understanding dawns in his eyes, followed by something that looks like wonder. You've never been touched. I'm sorry, I whisper, feeling ridiculous. I should have told you. I know it's weird. No. He silences me with a gentle kiss. No, Kara. It's not weird. He pulls back to look at me, and his expression has transformed into something almost reverent. But it means we need to slow down. I can't take this from you in the middle of the night after a nightmare. You deserve better than that. I don't want better. I want you. Elena. I know what the contract says. That you won't touch me without permission. Well, I'm giving you permission. I reach up to touch his face. I want this. I want you. Not because I'm scared or alone or traumatized. Because when I'm with you, I feel alive for the first time in years. He closes his eyes and I can see the war raging inside him. When he opens them again, they're molten silver. If we do this, there's no going back. You understand that? I understand. This isn't just about one night. Once I have you, I won't be able to let you go. Contract or no contract. The intensity in his voice should frighten me. Instead, it sends a thrill down my spine. Good. He stares at me for one more heartbeat. Then he's kissing me again, and this time there's no holding back. His hands roam my body over the thin silk of my nightgown, learning every curve, and I arch into his touch with a whimper. Tell me if you want me to stop, he murmurs against my mouth. At any time, for any reason. Promise me. I promise. His hand slides up my thigh, pushing the silk higher, and I gasp at the sensation. Everything is overwhelming. His touch, his weight, the heat building between us. When his fingers trace the edge of my underwear, I nearly come apart. Dante. I've got you, Kara. His lips trail down my neck. Just feel. Let me make you feel good. And he does. God, he does. His touch is patient, thorough, focused entirely on my pleasure. He learns what makes me gasp, what makes me moan, what makes my back arch off the bed. When I finally shatter, crying out his name, he holds me through it, murmuring praise in Italian. As I come down from the high, trembling and overwhelmed, he gathers me against his chest, pressing kisses to my forehead. That's enough for tonight, he says softly. We have time. But you, I can feel him hard and wanting against my hip. This was about you. He pulls the covers over us both. I wanted to show you how it should be, gentle, focused on your pleasure. Not rushed or rough. You deserve that for your first time. Tears prick my eyes, but they're not sad. Thank you. Don't thank me for something I wanted to do. He settles me more comfortably against him, and I realize he's not letting me go back to my room. Sleep, Kara. We'll figure out the rest tomorrow. I should protest, should return to my own suite. Instead, I curl into his warmth and let myself feel safe for the first time since this nightmare began. As I drift off, I hear him whisper, I'm going to fall in love with you. I don't know how to stop it. I want to tell him I'm already halfway there. That the monster I married is becoming the man I choose. But sleep claims me before I can form the words. Tomorrow everything will be different. Tomorrow we'll face what this means. But tonight, I let myself be held by a killer who touches me like I'm made of glass. A man who just showed me tenderness I didn't know existed. My husband. My Dante. And whatever happens next, I know one thing with absolute certainty. I'm no longer his prisoner. I'm his partner. And that changes everything. Chapter 5, Blood Oaths and Betrayals. I wake to sunlight streaming through unfamiliar windows and a warm body wrapped around mine. For a blissful moment I forget where I am. Then reality floods back. Dante's bedroom last night, everything that happened between us. My face flames as I remember his touch, his mouth, the way he made me come apart with patient intensity. "You're thinking too loud," Dante murmurs against my hair, his voice rough with sleep. "I can practically hear your mind racing." I turn in his arms to find him watching me, those gray eyes softer than I've ever seen them. In the morning light, with his hair mussed and his guard down, he looks almost boyish. It's a dangerous illusion. I was just processing, I admit. Regretting? There's vulnerability in the question, carefully hidden but there nonetheless. No. I trace the scar across his collarbone. The opposite, actually. I'm wondering why it took us this long. His hand comes up to cup my face. Because I was trying to be honorable. Trying to keep my distance. His thumb brushes my lower lip. That worked out well. I'm glad it didn't. I lean in to kiss him, soft and sweet, and he makes a low sound of approval. The kiss deepens, his hand sliding down my body, and I'm just beginning to lose myself in sensation when his phone erupts with harsh ringing. Dante pulls back with a curse, reaching for the device on his nightstand. "This better be important," he growls into the phone. I watch his expression transform, softness hardening into something cold and lethal. Whatever he's hearing isn't good. When? Pause. How many? Another pause, longer this time. Find him. I don't care if you have to tear the city apart. I want Dmitry Kozlov in front of me by noon. He ends the call and looks at me and I see fury barely contained. "Get dressed. We need to move you to the safe house." Fear spikes through me. What happened? The Kozlovs hit 3 of our operations last night. Simultaneously. Took out 15 of my men and stole $2 million in cash. He's already out of bed, pulling on clothes with efficient speed. Someone gave them inside information. Locations, security details, timing. We have a traitor. I scramble out of bed, my mind racing. And you think they'll come after me? You're the easiest way to hurt me. He tosses me a robe from his closet. Go to your room, pack a bag. 5 minutes. Marco will take you somewhere safe while I handle this. I want to stay with you. No. The word is absolute. Elena, if something happens to you because I was too distracted to protect you properly. He breaks off, jaw clenching. I can't do my job if I'm worried about you. Please. Let me keep you safe. The please does it. I nod, even though every instinct screams to stay by his side. Okay. But you come back to me. Promise. He pulls me close, pressing a hard kiss to my forehead. I promise. Now go. I run to my suite, throwing clothes into a bag with shaking hands. The traitor. Someone inside Dante's organization, someone he trusts, is selling information to his enemies. And if they know about his operations, they definitely know about me. Marco appears in my doorway before I've finished packing. "Mrs. Vitale. We need to leave now." "1 more minute." "Now." His tone brooks no argument. "The boss's orders. Your safety takes priority." I grab the bag and follow him through the penthouse. In the living room I see Dante surrounded by his men, Luca, Antonio, and a dozen soldiers, all armed, all looking grim. He glances up as I pass and our eyes meet for one charged moment. "Stay safe," his expression says. "Come back to me," mine replies. Then Marco is hustling me into the private elevator, and Dante disappears from view. The safe house is a converted warehouse in an industrial area south of the city. From the outside it looks abandoned, rust-stained walls, broken windows, weeds growing through cracked concrete. Inside it's been transformed into a fortress. Steel-reinforced doors, security cameras covering every angle, enough weapons to outfit a small army. Marco shows me to a bedroom on the 2nd floor, sparse but functional, with a bed, a dresser, and bars on the windows. "You'll be safe here," he assures me. 6 men on rotation, 24/7 surveillance. Nothing gets in or out without us knowing. How long will I be here? Until the boss neutralizes the threat. He hands me a phone. This is a secure line. It only calls one number, directly to Mr. Vitale. If anything happens, if you hear or see anything unusual, you call him immediately. Understood. I nod, clutching the phone like a lifeline. Marco leaves and I'm alone with my fear. The hours crawl by. I try to read a book I found on the shelf, but I can't focus. I pace the room, counting steps, trying not to imagine what Dante is doing right now. Who he's hurting. Who he's killing. Around 3 p.m. the secure phone rings. Dante. I answer breathlessly. Kara. Just hearing his voice unknots some of the tension in my chest. Are you all right? I'm fine. Bored, scared, but fine. Did you find the traitor? We're getting close. Luca's working on a lead. He pauses. I'm sorry. I know this isn't how you wanted to spend the day. I'd rather be bored and alive than the alternative. I sit on the bed, drawing my knees up. Tell me something. Something normal. Something that has nothing to do with betrayals and blood. He's quiet for a moment. When I was 10, my mother tried to teach me to bake. She wanted me to have one skill that didn't involve violence. The soft laugh. I was terrible at it. Burned 3 batches of cookies before I gave up. She told me I had the patience for war but not for waiting for dough to rise. The image of a young Dante frustrated in a kitchen makes me smile. Where is your mother now? Italy. She left after my father died, couldn't handle the violence anymore. I don't blame her. This life, it takes pieces of you until there's nothing left. He sighs. She wanted me to come with her, start over somewhere clean. I couldn't. The family needed me. Do you regret it? Staying? Every day. The admission is raw. But regret doesn't change anything. I made my choice and now I live with it. He pauses. You're the first good thing that's happened to me in 10 years, Elena. I want you to know that. Warmth floods through me. You're not so bad yourself. For a mafia boss. He laughs, actually laughs, and the sound is beautiful. Get some rest, Kara. I'll call you when. The line cuts off. My stomach drops. Dante? Dante. Nothing. Just dead air. I'm staring at the phone, heart pounding, when I hear it, glass breaking downstairs. Then shouting. Gunfire. Oh God. I drop the phone and run to the door, yanking it open. The hallway is empty, but I can hear chaos below. Men yelling, more gunshots, heavy footsteps pounding up the stairs. I look around desperately for a weapon, for anything. There, on the dresser, a letter opener. Not much, but better than nothing. I grab it and press myself against the wall beside the door, exactly like Dante taught me. Element of surprise. One shot. Make it count. The footsteps get closer. The door crashes open. A man bursts in, unfamiliar, wearing all black, gun raised. I don't hesitate. I lunge forward, driving the letter opener toward his throat. He twists at the last second, and the blade catches his shoulder instead. He howls, dropping the gun, and I scramble for it. My fingers close around the grip just as he lunges at me. I pull the trigger. The sound is deafening in the enclosed space. The man drops, clutching his chest, blood spreading across his shirt. I stare at him, at what I've done, and my hands start shaking. I killed him. I actually killed him. Elena. Marco appears in the doorway, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. Thank Christ. We need to move. They breached the perimeter, at least 8 men. We can't hold them off much longer. Who are they? Kozlovs. He grabs my arm, pulling me toward the hallway. Someone told them where you were. The traitor sold you out. Terror ices my veins. We run down the stairs, stepping over bodies, some in Dante's colors, some in black. The warehouse is a war zone. Through the broken windows I can see more men approaching. The car, Marco gasps, pulling me toward a garage at the back. We have a vehicle hidden. A gunshot cracks. Marco stumbles, his grip on my arm loosening. I catch him as he falls, blood blooming across his chest. No, no, no. I press my hands to the wound, trying to stop the bleeding. Marco, stay with me. Run, he chokes out. Car, keys in my pocket. I'm fumbling for the keys when I hear slow, deliberate footsteps behind me. I turn to find a man silhouetted in the doorway, tall, blonde, with ice blue eyes and a cruel smile. Elena Vitale, he says in accented English. We finally meet. I'm Dmitry Kozlov. I stand slowly, the keys clutched in my hand. Behind me, Marco has gone still. My training kicks in, assess the threat, find weaknesses, survive. Dmitry has a gun, but it's holstered. He's confident, smug. He thinks I'm helpless. Your husband has caused me considerable trouble, Dmitry continues, moving closer. Stealing my business, killing my men. I think it's time he learned the cost of crossing the Kozlov family. By killing me? I force my voice steady. That won't end well for you. Oh, I'm not going to kill you. Not yet. His smile widens. First, I'm going to make you beg. Make you scream. Record every second of it and send it to Dante. Let him hear what his protection is worth. Rage floods through me, burning away the fear. This man, this monster, thinks I'm weak. Thinks I'll break easily. He has no idea what I've become. You can try, I say and lunge. I don't go for him directly, that's what he expects. Instead, I throw the car keys at his face. He flinches, and in that split second, I grab the letter opener from where I dropped it and drive it toward his thigh. He's fast but not fast enough. The blade sinks in and he howls, stumbling back. I run for the garage, hearing him curse behind me. The car is an armored SUV, keys still in my hand. I throw myself into the driver's seat, fumbling with the ignition. The engine roars to life just as Dimitri appears, limping but furious, his gun now drawn. I floor it. The SUV crashes through the garage door, bullets sparking off the reinforced body. I'm shaking so hard I can barely hold the wheel, but I drive, weaving through the industrial streets, no destination in mind except away. My phone, the secure phone, is back at the safe house. I have no way to contact Dante, no way to tell him I'm alive. All I have is this car and the knowledge that I just stabbed Dmitry Kozlov and escaped his trap. Dante is going to lose his mind. Assuming I can find him before the Kozlovs find me again. I take a shuddering breath, force myself to focus. Think like Dante taught me. Assess the situation. Make a plan. The traitor gave up the safe house location. That means they're close to Dante, close enough to access sensitive information. Marco's dead, most of the guards are dead. The Kozlovs are actively hunting me. I need to disappear. Somewhere the traitor wouldn't know about, somewhere off the grid. Somewhere. My father. Dante said he's in a private facility under guard. If I can get there, I'll be safe. And I can use their phone to contact Dante. Decision made, I point the SUV north and drive. Every shadow makes me flinch, every car behind me could be an enemy. But I keep moving, keep surviving. Because I promised Dante I'd stay safe. And I keep my promises, even when the world is burning down around me. I make it to the facility 45 minutes later, running on pure adrenaline and fear. The guard at the entrance recognizes me. I've visited twice since my father woke up, and lets me through without question. I burst into my father's room, wild-eyed and blood-stained, and he struggles to sit up in bed. Elena? Christo, what happened? Dad. I collapse beside his bed, the adrenaline finally crashing. I need your phone. Please. I need to call Dante. He hands it over without question, and I dial with shaking fingers. It rings once. Twice. Moretti? Dante's voice is sharp, professional. He doesn't recognize the number. It's me, I gasp. It's Elena. I'm okay. Where are you? All professional distance evaporates. Christo, Elena, where are you? The safe house, Marco. I know. They're dead. Dmitry Kozlov came for me. I got away. I'm crying now, can't hold it back anymore. I stabbed him. I killed one of his men. Dante, listen to me. His voice is fierce, grounding. You did perfectly. You survived. That's all that matters. Now tell me where you are and I'll come get you. I give him the address of my father's facility. There's a traitor. Someone close to you told the Kozlovs where I was. I know. We found him. His voice turns deadly. Luca is handling it. I'm on my way to you. Don't move. Don't go anywhere. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Okay. I wipe my eyes. Dante? I kept my promise. I stayed safe. You're magnificent, Kara. The bravest person I know. He pauses. Ti amo. Do you understand? I love you. The words fill every broken place inside me. I understand. I feel the same way. 20 minutes, he promises. I'm coming for you. The line goes dead and I let myself collapse. My father wraps his good arm around me, holding me while I shake. That's my girl, he murmurs. You survived. You survived. I did. But at what cost? How many more times will I have to fight for my life? How many more people will die because I'm married to Dante Vitale? I don't have answers. All I know is that when Dante walks through that door, I'm going to hold on to him and never let go. Because in a world of betrayal and blood, he's the only constant I have. My husband. My home. My love. And I'll fight anyone who tries to take him from me. Chapter 6. When Love Becomes a Weapon. Dante arrives in 18 minutes. I hear the commotion in the hallway before I see him. Rapid footsteps, urgent voices, his commanding tone cutting through everything. Then the door bursts open and he's there, looking like an avenging angel in a blood-spattered shirt, his eyes wild until they land on me. Elena. He crosses the room in 3 strides and pulls me into his arms with bruising force. Christo, Elena. I cling to him, breathing in his scent, letting his solid presence ground me. He's here. He came for me. I'm safe. I'm okay, I murmur against his chest. I promise I'm okay. His hands move over me frantically, checking for injuries, cataloging every bruise and scratch. When he sees the blood on my clothes, not mine, I want to tell him, but I can't seem to form the words. Something savage crosses his face. Tell me everything, he demands, pulling back just enough to look at me. From the beginning. What happened? I recount the attack, stumbling over the parts where I had to kill, where Marco died protecting me, where Dmitry Kozlov promised to break me. Dante's expression grows darker with every word, his jaw clenched so tight I'm afraid he'll crack his teeth. You stabbed Dmitry Kozlov, he says when I finish, and there's something like wonder mixed with the fury in his voice. My wife stabbed one of the most dangerous men in Chicago and lived to tell about it. I remembered what you taught me. About not hesitating. I'm shaking again, the adrenaline crash hitting hard. Dante, Marco, he saved my life. I know. Dante's arms tighten around me. Marco was a good man. The best. I'll make sure his family is taken care of. His voice drops to something lethal. And I'll make Dmitry Kozlov beg for death before I grant it. My father clears his throat from the bed, reminding us we're not alone. Dante's gaze shifts to him, and something complicated passes between the 2 men. Giuseppe, Dante says quietly. Thank you for keeping her safe. She's my daughter. My father's voice is weak but firm. I'd die before I let anything happen to her. He looks at me, then back at Dante. You love her. I can see it. It's not a question, but Dante answers anyway. More than my own life. Then you understand what I did. Why I borrowed from the Kozlovs, why I took your money when I should have walked away from the life completely. My father's eyes are bright with unshed tears. Everything I did to protect her. Even making that deal with you, I knew you'd keep her alive when I couldn't anymore. Dante is quiet for a long moment. You were a better father than mine ever was. He taught me to value power over people. You taught Elena to value people over everything. He pauses. I'm going to keep your daughter safe, Giuseppe. Even if it means burning down the entire city to do it. That's all I ask. My father settles back against his pillows, exhausted. Now get her out of here. Take her somewhere the Kozlovs can't reach. And don't come back until they're all dead or gone. Dante takes me to a place I never expected. A house in the suburbs. It's not grand or imposing, just a 2-story colonial with a white picket fence and a garden that's seen better days. We pull up in an armored SUV filled with armed guards, and I stare at the house in confusion. Where are we? My mother's house. The one she lived in before she moved to Italy. He helps me out of the car, his hand never leaving the small of my back. It's under a shell corporation 3 layers deep. Nobody knows about it except me and Luca. You'll be safe here. Inside, the house is frozen in time, family photos on the walls, furniture covered in sheets, a thin layer of dust over everything. It feels like a museum of a life Dante left behind. Why did you keep it? I ask as he leads me upstairs to a bedroom. I don't know. He pulls the sheet off a queen-sized bed, revealing a floral comforter that's so domestic it makes my chest ache. Maybe I thought I'd need a place to hide someday. Maybe I couldn't let go of the last piece of my mother. He turns to face me. Or maybe I was saving it for someone worth hiding with. The vulnerability in his admission makes me step closer, cupping his face in my hands. I'm terrified, I confess. Of the Kozlovs, of the traitor, of what comes next. But when I'm with you, I feel like I can handle it. You can. He presses his forehead to mine. You stabbed Dmitry Kozlov and escaped his men. You're stronger than you know, Elena. I killed someone today. Maybe 2, I don't know if the first one survived. The reality of it crashes over me again and I start shaking. I killed people, Dante. I took lives. To save your own. That's not murder, Kara. That's survival. His hands frame my face, forcing me to look at him. In my world, you don't apologize for surviving. You don't feel guilty for doing what needed to be done. Those men would have killed you without hesitation. You owe them nothing, not sympathy, not guilt, nothing. How do you live with it? All the blood on your hands. I tell myself it was necessary. That I'm protecting what's mine. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. And I hold on to the few good things I have. Like you. I kiss him then, desperate and seeking, needing to feel alive after hours of fear. He responds immediately, his hands sliding into my hair, angling my head to deepen the kiss. When we break apart, both breathing hard, his eyes are molten silver. "I need to tell you something," he says, his voice rough. "About the contract." My stomach drops. "What about it?" I'm tearing it up. He searches my face. "The 24 months, the $5 million, all of it. I don't want you as a contract wife anymore, Elena. I want you as my real wife. My partner. My equal." I stare at him, hardly daring to breathe. "But the terms? My father's debt. Already forgiven. The debt died the moment I fell in love with you." He takes my hands. "I'm offering you a choice. A real choice, not an ultimatum backed by threats. Stay with me because you want to. Be my wife because you love me, not because you're forced to. Or walk away. I'll give you the $5 million, set you up somewhere safe, and you never have to see me again. You'd let me go?" I can't keep the disbelief from my voice. "Just like that? It would kill me. But yes." His grip tightens on my hands. "Because I love you, Elena. And love means giving you the freedom to choose, even if you don't choose me." Tears blur my vision. This man, this dangerous, violent, ruthless man, is offering me everything I thought I wanted: freedom, money, safety away from this world. All I have to do is walk away. But I don't want to walk away. "You're an idiot," I say, and he blinks in surprise. "If you think I went through all this, the fear, the danger, the becoming someone new, just to leave you at the end. I love you, Dante Vitale. I love you enough to stay in this terrifying world, enough to fight beside you, enough to be your wife for real." His eyes close and I see relief wash over his features. "You're sure? Once you say yes, once we make this real, there's no going back. You'll be mine forever. I'm already yours." I press his hand to my heart. "I have been since you showed me I'm stronger than I believed. Since you trusted me enough to show me your wounds. Since you held me after nightmares and trained me to survive. I choose you, Dante. All of you, the darkness and the light." He crushes me against him, his face buried in my neck. I feel wetness against my skin and realize with shock that he's crying. Dante Vitale, the ice-cold Mafia boss, is crying because I chose him. "Ti amo," he whispers. "Ti amo così tanto che fa male." I love you. I love you so much it hurts. "I love you too," I whisper back. In English, in Italian, in every language. "I love you." When he kisses me this time, it's different from every kiss before. This isn't desperation or fear or stolen passion. This is promise. This is forever. He lifts me easily, carrying me to the bed, and lays me down with reverent care. "Are you sure?" he asks, hovering over me. "After everything that happened today?" "I'm sure." I pull him down to me. "I need to feel alive. I need to feel you. Please, Dante." He strips us both with shaking hands, and when he finally settles between my thighs, skin to skin, the rightness of it steals my breath. This is what I was made for, not a convent, not a quiet life of service, but this. "I'll be gentle," he promises. "If it hurts. I trust you. And I do. Completely." He enters me slowly, carefully, giving me time to adjust. There's pain, sharp and bright, but also fullness. Completeness. Like a puzzle piece finally clicking into place. "Okay." His voice is strained with the effort of holding back. "Okay," I breathe. "You can move." He does, establishing a rhythm that starts gentle and gradually builds. His hands worship every inch of my body, his mouth trailing kisses across my skin, whispering praise in Italian and English. When pleasure starts coiling tight in my belly, he reaches between us, touching me exactly where I need it. "Come for me, Cara," he murmurs. "Let me feel you." I shatter, crying out his name, and he follows me over the edge with a groan that sounds like prayer. We cling to each other as aftershocks roll through us, breathing hard, overwhelmed. "Mine?" he whispers against my temple. "You're mine now. Truly mine." "Yours?" I agree, pressing a kiss to his jaw. "And you're mine. Always." We lie tangled together as our breathing slows, the afternoon sun streaming through dusty windows. Outside, I can hear birds singing, traffic in the distance, the sounds of normal life. But in here, in this forgotten house, we've created our own world. What happens now? I ask eventually. With the Kozlovs, with the traitor, with everything? Now. Dante's arms tighten around me. Now I go to war. But first I make sure you're safe. I'm stationing 20 men around this house. No one gets in or out without my approval. You stay here until I've dealt with Dimitri and anyone else stupid enough to threaten you. I don't want to hide while you fight. I know. But I need you alive more than I need you beside me in battle. He tilts my face up to his. You're my weakness now, Elena. The one thing that could destroy me. Every enemy I have will try to use you against me. So I need you safe, protected, hidden where they can't reach you. That's not weakness, I say softly. That's love. In my world they're the same thing. He traces my lips with his thumb. But I don't care anymore. Let them see my weakness. Let them try to exploit it. I'll kill every single one of them before I let them touch you again. There's a savagery in his voice that should frighten me. Instead, it makes me feel cherished, protected, loved in a way I never imagined possible. How long will you be gone? As long as it takes. Days, maybe a week. He presses a fierce kiss to my forehead. But I'll call you every night. And when I come back, I'm never leaving you again. Promise? I promise. He pulls me closer. And when this is over, when the Kozlovs are dealt with and Chicago is quiet again, I'm taking you on a real honeymoon. Somewhere beautiful and far from here. Just you and me. I'd like that. I nestle against his chest, listening to his heartbeat. Where would we go? Anywhere you want. Italy to meet my mother. Paris. Greece. The Maldives. His hand strokes my hair. I want to show you the world, Elena. All the beauty I forgot existed until I met you. We stay like that for hours, talking and touching, memorizing each other. When the sun starts to set, painting the room in shades of gold and orange, Dante finally forces himself to leave the bed. I need to go, he says reluctantly, pulling on his clothes. Luca is waiting for my orders and the Kozlovs won't destroy themselves. I watch him dress, committing every detail to memory. The play of muscles under scarred skin. The way his hair falls across his forehead. The softness in his eyes when he looks at me. Be careful, I say as he leans down for one last kiss. Come back to me. Nothing in heaven or hell could keep me from you. He kisses me again, deep and claiming. I love you, Elena Vitale. My wife. My heart. I love you too. Now go be terrifying. He grins, that rare, beautiful smile that transforms his face. As you wish, Mrs. Vitale. I watch from the window as he leaves, surrounded by guards, climbing into the armored SUV. He looks up at the window once, raising his hand in a wave, and then he's gone. I'm alone in this house of memories, carrying our future inside me like a secret promise. The next week is going to be hell. But I'll endure it, because at the end Dante will come back to me. And we'll build our life together, not on contracts or obligations but on choice. On love. On forever. Chapter 7, The War for His Wife. The call comes on the 5th night. I'm reading in the living room, surrounded by guards, when my secure phone rings. Dante's name flashes on the screen and relief floods through me. He's called every night like he promised, but each time I hear his voice, I'm grateful he's still alive. Dante. Listen carefully. His voice is urgent, clipped. We found where the Kozlovs are holding up. I'm moving on them tonight. If something goes wrong. Nothing will go wrong. I cut him off, refusing to entertain the possibility. You're coming back to me? Elena. No. You promised. You said nothing in heaven or hell could keep you from me. My voice cracks. So you come back. You win. You survive. That's an order from your wife. He laughs short and sharp. You're terrifying when you're bossy. I learned from the best. I clutch the phone tighter. I love you, Dante Vitale. Be careful. Ti amo, cara. I'll see you soon. The line goes dead and I'm left with silence and dread. The hours that follow are torture. I pace the living room while the guards watch with sympathetic eyes. I try to read, to sleep, to distract myself. Nothing works. Every sound makes me jump, every passing car could be bringing news. Around 3 a.m. my phone rings again. I answer before the first ring finishes. Dante. Mrs. Vitale. It's Luca and his voice is wrong, too careful, too controlled. There's been a development. My blood turns to ice. Where's Dante? The operation went sideways. The Kozlovs were expecting us. They had twice the men we anticipated. There was a firefight. The boss was hit. How bad? I'm already moving, grabbing my jacket, my shoes. Luca, how bad is it? He's alive. Conscious. But he's pinned down with 6 men in a warehouse on the south side. The Kozlovs have the building surrounded. We can't get to him without starting a war that will bring down the entire Chicago police force. Then start a war. I'm shaking, my vision tunneling. I don't care what it takes. Get him out. We're trying. But Mrs. Vitale? He pauses and I hear something that sounds like guilt in his voice. The traitor. We know who it was. My hand freezes on the door handle. Who? Antonio. Dante's uncle. The words fall like bombs. He's been feeding information to the Kozlovs for months. The warehouse locations, the safe house, everything. He sold out his own nephew for a cut of the territory. Antonio. The man who sat across from us at dinner, who questioned my worthiness, who I thought was just protective of the family business. He's the reason Marco died. The reason I was attacked. The reason Dante is trapped right now. Where is he? My voice sounds distant, cold. Where is Antonio? Mrs. Vitale, you need to stay at the safe house. Where is he? I'm shouting now, fury burning through the fear. Tell me where to find him, Luca. Now. A long pause. Then, he's at his estate in Lincoln Park. But you can't. I end the call and turn to the guard stationed in the living room. I need a car. And weapons. The head guard, Michael, a former Marine with kind eyes, shakes his head. Ma'am, the boss's orders were clear. You stay here until he gives the all clear. The boss is pinned down because his uncle betrayed him. I meet Michael's eyes. Antonio knows where this safe house is. If the Kozlovs are busy with Dante, what's to stop Antonio from coming here to finish the job? To tie up loose ends? Understanding and worry cross Michael's face. You think he'd come after you? I think a man who'd betray his own nephew for money would do anything. I straighten my spine, channeling every ounce of authority I can muster. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to drive me to Antonio's estate. We're going to make him tell us how to get Dante out. And if he refuses, I'm going to make him regret ever being born. The boss will kill us if we let you leave. The boss will be dead if we don't. I grab a gun from the table, one of many scattered around for emergencies, and check the magazine like Dante taught me. Are you coming or do I go alone? Michael exchanges glances with the other guards. Finally he nods. We're coming. But if this goes bad, then we all go down together. I head for the door. Let's go. Antonio's estate is a fortress, high walls, security cameras, armed guards at the gate. But fortresses have weaknesses if you know where to look. Service entrance on the east side, Michael mutters, studying the property through binoculars. 2 guards, but they smoke every hour on the hour. We wait for their break, slip through while they're distracted. No. I stare at the front gate, an idea forming. We go through the front. That's suicide. That's unexpected. I pull out my phone and dial Antonio's number. I have it from the family contact list Dante gave me. He answers on the 3rd ring. Elena? You sound surprised. It's 3 in the morning. Is something wrong? Everything's wrong, Antonio. I inject panic into my voice. The safe house, the Kozlovs found us. They're coming. Dante told me to call you to ask for help. Please, I don't know what to do. Calm down. His voice smooths into something soothing, and if I didn't know better, I'd believe he cared. Where are you now? In a car with the guards. We ran, but I don't know where to go. Can I come to your estate? Please, Antonio. I'm so scared. Pause. Then, of course. Come to the front gate. I'll tell security to let you through. Thank you. Thank you so much. I end the call and look at Michael. He's expecting us. That was... Michael shakes his head in admiration. Damn, Mrs. Vitale. You're good at this. I learned from watching Dante. And from watching my sister manipulate everyone around her for years, but I don't say that part. Let's go. The gates swing open as we approach and we drive through into enemy territory. My heart pounds, but I keep my face schooled into fear and relief. Antonio is waiting at the front door, looking concerned and avuncular in a smoking jacket. Elena, thank God you're safe. He opens his arms for a hug, and I force myself to step into them even though my skin crawls. Come inside. You must be terrified. I am. I pull back, letting tears fill my eyes. Antonio, what's happening? Where's Dante? Is he safe? Something flickers in his expression, too quick to read. I'm sure he's fine. Dante's resourceful. Come, let's get you some tea and we'll figure out what to do. He leads me into a sitting room, gesturing for me to take a seat. The guards fan out, professional but alert. Antonio doesn't seem concerned by their presence. Why would he? He thinks I'm a frightened girl seeking protection. Now then, he says, settling into a chair across from me. Tell me exactly what happened. The Kozlovs attacked the safe house about an hour ago. I twist my hands in my lap, playing the part. They knew exactly where we were. Michael got me out, but I don't understand how they found us. Dante said that location was a secret. Indeed it was. Antonio's eyes narrow slightly. Very few people knew about it. Like who? Myself. Luca. A few trusted captains. He leans forward. Elena, I need to ask you something and I need you to be honest. Is it possible Dante has another traitor in his organization? Someone feeding information to his enemies? The audacity of it steals my breath. He's trying to deflect, to make me doubt Dante's people while he sits here playing the concerned uncle. I don't know. I wipe at my eyes. But Antonio, I'm so scared. What if the Kozlovs come here? What if they find me? They won't. His smile is meant to be reassuring. You're safe with me, Elena. I'll protect you. Like you protected Dante? The words are out before I can stop them. His smile freezes. What? You heard about the warehouse, didn't you? I lean forward. About how Dante is pinned down, trapped, possibly dying. Your nephew. Your blood. And you're just sitting here. I only just heard. You knew before I called. I stand and suddenly I'm not playing scared anymore. I'm done playing. You knew because you told the Kozlovs where to find him. Just like you told them where to find me. You're the traitor, Antonio. The room goes silent. Antonio's mask slips, revealing something cold and calculating beneath. That's a serious accusation. It's the truth. I pull out my phone and play the recording I made of Luca's call, the part where he names Antonio as the traitor. We know everything. The question is, are you going to help me save Dante, or do I have to make you? Antonio looks at the guards behind me, then back at me. Slowly he starts to laugh. You clever little girl. You actually came here thinking you could threaten me? In my own home. I came here to give you a choice. My voice is steel. Help me free Dante or die. Pick one. I think not. He snaps his fingers and 6 of his own guards pour into the room, armed and hostile. You walked right into a trap, Elena. Did you really think I'd let you leave here alive? You're the last leverage I have over Dante. Dead you're useless. But captured? I can trade you to the Kozlovs for everything I want. Michael and the other guards move to surround me, but we're outnumbered. This was a mistake. A terrible, stupid mistake. Dante will kill you, I say quietly. If he survives this, he'll hunt you to the ends of the earth. If he survives. Antonio's smile is cruel. Which he won't. The Kozlovs have him pinned and in about. He checks his watch. 20 minutes they're going to start a fire. Dante Vitale will burn to death in that warehouse, screaming for help that won't come. And you'll die knowing you could have saved him if you just stayed hidden like a good little girl. 20 minutes. Dante has 20 minutes before they kill him. I look at Michael, at the other guards, and see my own desperation reflected back. We're trapped, outnumbered, running out of time. Then I remember something Dante told me during training. When you can't win by strength, win by making them stupid. You're right, I say, letting my shoulders slump in defeat. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have come here. I'm so scared, Antonio. I don't want to die. Then cooperate. He gestures for his men to lower their weapons slightly. Tell me where Dante keeps his emergency funds. His offshore accounts. Give me that and I'll make your death quick. His office. I'm crying again, real tears this time because I'm terrified and furious and running out of time. In the penthouse. There's a safe behind the painting of the Chicago skyline. The combination is my birthday, December 3rd. It's a complete lie. The real safe is in his bedroom, hidden in the floor. Combination is the date his father died. But Antonio doesn't know that. Smart girl. He pulls out his phone. Let me just verify that information. I move. Everything Dante taught me, every lesson, every drill, it all comes together in one explosive moment. I grab the vase from the side table and smash it into the nearest guard's face. While he's staggering, I grab his gun and shoot the man next to him. Chaos erupts. Michael and my guards open fire on Antonio's men. Bodies drop, blood sprays, and I'm moving through it all like a dancer, exactly as Dante trained me to do. I reach Antonio before he can run. My gun presses against his temple and he freezes. Call them, I snarl. Call the Kozlovs and tell them to stand down. Now. You won't shoot me. You're not a killer. I pull the trigger. The bullet grazes his ear, close enough to burn. He screams and I press the hot barrel to his cheek. I've killed 3 men in the last week, Antonio. What's one more? Especially one who tried to murder my husband. Okay. His hands shake as he pulls out his phone. I'll call them. I'll tell them to stand down. Put it on speaker. He does. The phone rings twice before someone answers. Antonio. Dimitri. Antonio's voice shakes. There's been a change of plans. Let Vitale go. Pull your men back. Why would I do that? Dimitri sounds amused. We have him exactly where we want him. Because I have his wife. I pressed the gun harder against Antonio's head. And if you don't stand down, I'm going to put a bullet in his brain and then come for you myself. Silence. Then Dimitri laughs. The little mouse has teeth. Interesting. I'm not a mouse. My voice is deadly calm. I'm a Vitale. And we don't negotiate with dead men. You have 60 seconds to pull your men back from that warehouse, or I start a war that will bury you and everyone you love. Your choice. Another long pause. Then, fine. We're standing down. But this isn't over, Mrs. Vitale. Not by a long shot. The line goes dead. I look at Michael. Get Dante. Now. What about him? Michael nods at Antonio, who's bleeding and whimpering. Zip tie his hands. I step back, lowering the gun but not holstering it. Dante will want to deal with him personally. 20 minutes later, my phone rings. Kara? Dante's voice is rough, exhausted, but alive. What the hell did you do? I saved you. I sink onto the floor, adrenaline crashing. Are you okay? I'm fine. A few bullet wounds, nothing serious. He pauses. Elena, Luca told me you went after Antonio. You could have been killed. But I wasn't. And now you're free and he's captured and I'm. The tears come then hot and fast. I'm so tired, Dante. I'm so tired of being scared. I know, Kara. I know. His voice softens. Stay where you are. I'm coming to you. Hurry. Nothing could stop me. I end the call and look at Antonio, who's watching me with hatred in his eyes. You made a mistake, I tell him. You thought I was weak. Easy to break. But Dante showed me how to be strong. How to survive in your world. And now. I stand rolling my shoulders back. Now I'm the most dangerous thing in it. Because I'm not just fighting for myself anymore. I'm fighting for love. For family. For the life Dante and I are building together. And I'll burn down anyone who tries to take it from us. Chapter 8. The Price of Being Loved by a Monster. Dante arrives covered in blood and ash, and he's never looked more beautiful to me. He bursts through Antonio's door with Luca and 20 armed men, his gun drawn, his eyes wild until they land on me. Then everything in him seems to soften and harden simultaneously. Relief that I'm alive, fury that I was in danger. Elena. He crosses the room and pulls me into his arms with bruising force, not caring about the blood transferring to my clothes. Cristo, when Luca told me what you did. I'm okay. I cling to him just as tightly, breathing in smoke and gunpowder in him. Are you? 2 bullets through and through. Already patched up. He pulls back to look at me, his hands framing my face. You could have died. You walked right into a trap. And walked right back out. I press my hand over his heart, feeling it pound against my palm. I couldn't let you die, Dante. Not when I had a way to stop it. By threatening my uncle and the head of the Kozlov family. Despite the words, there's pride in his voice. You're insane. I learned from you. He kisses me then, hard and desperate, not caring that his men are watching. When we break apart, he touches his forehead to mine. You're magnificent. Terrifying and brilliant in mine. Yours, I agree. Now and always. A groan from across the room reminds us we're not alone. Dante's expression hardens as he turns to look at Antonio, who's zip-tied to a chair, bleeding from his ear, looking smaller and older than I've ever seen him. Uncle. Dante's voice is arctic. Would you like to explain why my wife had to save me from an ambush you arranged? Dante, you have to understand. Antonio starts, but Dante cuts him off with a raised hand. No. I don't have to understand anything. He moves closer, each step deliberate. You betrayed me. You sold information to my enemies. You got Marco killed. You tried to have my wife murdered. His hand flexes on his gun. Give me one reason I shouldn't put a bullet in your head right now. I'm family. Family? Dante's laugh is bitter. My father showed mercy to family once. Got him killed. I won't make that mistake. Dante, please? Antonio's mask finally cracks completely, showing the fear beneath. I made a mistake. The Kozlovs offered me so much and I thought if you were gone I could run things better, keep the family safe. You thought you could take what was mine. Dante crouches in front of him, gun dangling loosely from one hand. You were my father's brother. I trusted you. I brought you into my business, gave you power and wealth, and this is how you repay that trust. You're just like your father, Antonio spits, finding some vestige of courage. Too soft. Too concerned with honor and codes. This business doesn't reward honor, Dante. It rewards strength. You're right. Dante stands and there's something final in his movement. My father was too soft. He believed family was sacred, that blood meant something. But blood means nothing when it's poisoned. He raises the gun. Any last words? I should probably stop him. Should argue for mercy, for the justice system, for anything but cold execution. But I think of Marco dying while protecting me. I think of all the people hurt because of Antonio's greed. And I say nothing. Wait. Antonio's eyes are wide, desperate. If you kill me, the Kozlovs won't stop. Dmitri won't stop. He'll come for you, for her, for everyone you love. But I can help you. I know things, where they operate, how many men they have, their weaknesses. I can give you everything you need to destroy them. Dante pauses, considering. Then he looks at me. What do you think, Kara? Should I show mercy? Every eye in the room turns to me. I think about the choice Dante gave me, to walk away or to stay. To be his equal partner or to remain separate from his darkness. If I ask for mercy now, it will reveal I'm still the soft girl I used to be. But I'm not that girl anymore. He tried to have me killed, I say quietly, meeting Antonio's eyes. He betrayed you, got good men killed, and sold out your family for money. If you let him live, he'll do it again. Men like him always do. Antonio's face crumbles. Elena, please. But, I continue, and Dante's eyebrows rise. He's right that he could be useful. The Kozlovs need to be dealt with, and he has information we need. I move to stand beside Dante, presenting a united front. So here's what I propose. He gives us everything. Every detail, every location, every piece of leverage. And in exchange, you don't kill him. You exile him instead. Send him away with nothing. No money, no power, no family. Let him live knowing he lost everything because of his own greed. Dante studies me for a long moment. You think that's worse than death? For a man like him? Yes. I look at Antonio, who's staring at me with something like horror. He'd rather die than live with shame. So let's give him exactly what he doesn't want. A slow smile spreads across Dante's face. Cruel and strategic. I really did marry the right woman. He turns back to Antonio. You heard her. Start talking. Every detail about the Kozlovs. Where they operate, how many men, what they're planning. And if I find out you've lied about even one thing, I'll make sure you beg for death before I grant it. It takes 3 hours to extract everything Antonio knows about the Kozlov operation. By the end, we have locations, names, financial information, everything we need to dismantle their organization. Luca, Dante orders when we're finished. Take 15 men to their warehouse on the docks. Marco, you hit their gambling operation in Chinatown. Giovanni, the brothel on Ashland, shut it down, free the girls, burn the building. I want the Kozlovs to wake up tomorrow with nothing left. His men disperse with military efficiency, and Dante turns to the 2 remaining guards. Take Antonio to the safe house. Lock him up. Tomorrow he gets on a plane to somewhere without extradition and with his bank accounts frozen. He lives, but he lives with nothing. They drag Antonio away, and finally Dante and I are alone in the destroyed sitting room. Bodies have been removed, but blood still stains the expensive carpet. The smell of gunpowder hangs in the air. You should be furious with me, I say into the silence. For leaving the safe house, for risking my life. I am furious. He moves closer, backing me against the wall. I'm furious and proud and terrified and in awe. You saved my life, Elena. Again. Do you understand how that makes me feel? How? Humbled. His hands frame my face. My whole life I've been the one protecting people. The strong one. The leader. But you walked into danger to save me. You faced down my uncle and threatened the Kozlovs and came out victorious. You're my equal now. My partner in every way. I was always your equal, I say softly. You just needed time to see it. I see it now. He kisses me slow and deep. And it's the most attractive thing about you. Well, that and everything else. I laugh against his mouth. Smooth. I try. He pulls back, his expression growing serious. But I mean it, Elena. This life, it's not what you signed up for. Violence and danger and blood. If you want to walk away, find somewhere safer. Stop. I press my fingers to his lips. I chose this. I chose you. And I'm not walking away, not now, not ever. So you're stuck with me, Dante Vitale? Thank God. He lifts me easily and I wrap my legs around his waist. Let's go home. The penthouse. Our home. Wherever we are together. He carries me toward the door, stepping over debris. Though first, I need to finish this war. The Kozlovs are wounded, but they're not dead yet. Then we finish it. I tighten my arms around his neck. Together. The war lasts 3 more days. Dante's men strike the Kozlov operations with surgical precision, dismantling their empire piece by piece. Dmitri tries to retaliate, but without Antonio's insider information he's fighting blind. On the 3rd day Dante gets a call. It's Dmitri, he tells me, putting the phone on speaker. He wants to meet. Negotiate terms. Where? I ask, already knowing I'm going with him. Neutral ground. The old church in Bridgeport. Dante's eyes meet mine. It could be a trap. Probably is. I check my gun. My gun now, the one Dante gave me after Antonio's estate. But we go anyway. And this. He doesn't argue. Doesn't try to leave me behind. We've moved past that. The church is abandoned, windows boarded up, paint peeling from the walls. Dante and I enter with Luca and 6 guards, all armed, all ready for betrayal. Dmitri is waiting at the altar with his own men. The leg I stabbed is bandaged and he walks with a pronounced limp. When he sees me, something ugly crosses his face. Mrs. Vitale. His accent makes my name sound like a curse. We meet again. Mr. Kozlov. I stand beside Dante, shoulders back, chin high. I'm disappointed. I was hoping for a scar. His jaw clenches. You have spirit. I respect that. It's unfortunate you chose the wrong side. I chose the winning side. I gesture at his diminished forces, 8 men where he once had 50. Looks like you're running low on soldiers. This war has been costly for both of us, Dmitri acknowledges, turning to Dante. Your men are good. Better than I expected. But I can keep this going indefinitely. My family has resources you can't match. Then why ask for a meeting? Dante's voice is casual, but his hand rests on his gun. If you're so confident, why negotiate? Because I'm a businessman. War is expensive. I propose a truce, you stay on the north side, I take the south. We split the neutral territories. Everyone profits. You forget something. Dante's smile is cold. The south side belongs to the Romanos. You're a guest in their territory, barely tolerated. You have nothing to bargain with. I have this. Dmitri snaps his fingers and one of his men produces a tablet. Proof that your uncle Antonio wasn't the only traitor. Someone else in your organization has been feeding me information. Someone close to you. My stomach drops. Another traitor? Dante's expression doesn't change, but I feel him tense beside me. Show me. Dmitri angles the tablet so we can see emails, text messages, detailed reports about Dante's operations. My breath catches as I see the sender's name. Sophia. Antonio's wife. Your aunt has been very helpful, Dmitri says smugly. She's the reason I knew about the warehouse. About your movements. About everything. So you see, even with Antonio gone, I still have leverage. Dante is quiet for a long moment. Then he starts to laugh, a genuine, surprised sound. You really think that's leverage? She's family. She's a traitor just like her husband. Did you really think I'd choose her over Elena? Dante shakes his head. You fundamentally misunderstand me, Dmitri. I don't give a damn about family. Not blood family anyway. The only family I have is standing right beside me. He reaches for my hand and I take it without hesitation. So here's my counteroffer, Dante continues. You leave Chicago. Tonight. Take your remaining men and go back to Russia or wherever the hell you came from. And if you or any member of your family ever sets foot in my city again, I'll kill every single one of you. That's not a negotiation. No, it's not. Dante's voice drops to something lethal. It's mercy. The same mercy you didn't show when you tried to kill my wife. Twice. You're bluffing. You can't take us all. Watch me. Everything happens at once. Dante's men raise their weapons. Dmitri's men do the same. For one suspended moment, we all stand on the edge of violence. Then I step forward, gun raised, pointing directly at Dmitri's head. Your choice. Walk away alive or die in this church. Either way, you're not winning this war. Dmitri stares at me and I see the moment he realizes he's lost. Not because Dante is stronger, but because we're unified. Unbreakable. This isn't over, he says, but there's defeat in his voice. Yes, it is. I don't lower my gun. You have 1 hour to get to the airport. After that, you're all dead men. We stand there, locked in a standoff that feels eternal. Finally, Dmitri nods sharply and turns to leave, his men following. Oh, and Dmitri? Dante calls after him. Thank you for the information about Sophia. I'll be sure to send her your regards. The Russian's expression darkens, but he doesn't turn back. They leave and the church falls silent. Is it really over? I ask quietly. For now. Dante holsters his gun. He won't come back. He can't afford to look weak by losing again. And Sophia? She'll face the same fate as Antonio. Exile and disgrace. He pulls me close. Are you all right? I'm perfect. And I am. Standing here in an abandoned church, having just threatened a Russian mobster, I feel more alive than I have in years. Is this our life now? Fighting wars, making enemies run. If you want it to be. His hand cups my cheek. Or we can walk away. Find somewhere quiet. I have enough money to disappear. I pretend to consider it. Tempting. But I think I prefer being the queen of Chicago's underworld. Queen, huh? You're the king, aren't you? That makes me queen. I stretch up to kiss him. Besides, someone has to keep you from getting shot. True. He kisses me back, deep and claiming. I love you, Elena Vitale. My partner. My equal. My queen. I love you too. I rest my head on his chest. Now take me home. We have an empire to run. As we walk out of the church into the Chicago sunrise, Dante's hand in mine, I think about how much has changed. I came into this world as a sacrifice, a debt payment, a girl forced into a contract with a monster. I'm leaving it as a woman who chose her fate, who stood beside her husband in war, who became a monster herself when necessary. And I wouldn't change a single moment. Because love, real love, isn't about staying pure and untouched. It's about diving into the darkness together. About being strong enough to save each other. About building something beautiful from blood and ashes. Dante Vitale showed me that. And I'll spend the rest of my life showing him that he was worth saving too. Epilogue, Love in the Ruins. 1 year later. The penthouse looks different now. Gone are the sterile, museum-like spaces that screamed of a man living alone. In their place are signs of life. Photographs on the mantel, books scattered on the coffee table, a pair of my shoes kicked off by the door. Dante complains about the mess, but I've caught him smiling at it when he thinks I'm not looking. I stand at the floor-to-ceiling windows, watching the sun set over Lake Michigan, one hand resting on my stomach. 6 months along and I'm just starting to show. Dante is convinced it's a girl. I'm hoping for a boy who looks exactly like his father. You're thinking too loud again, Dante says from behind me, his arms wrapping around me and pulling me back against his chest. His hands cover mine on my belly. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I lean into his warmth. I was just thinking about how different everything is now. Different good or different bad? Different perfect. I turn in his arms to face him. He's dressed casually, jeans and a black t-shirt, his hair still damp from the shower. At home he's softer. The cold Mafia boss melts away, leaving just Dante. My Dante. A year ago I was terrified of you. I thought you were a monster who'd destroy me. And now? His hands rest on my hips, thumbs tracing gentle circles. Now I know you're a monster who'd destroy the world for me. There's a difference. He laughs, the sound rich and genuine. True. Though you're not exactly innocent yourself anymore, Kara. Last week you threatened that restaurant owner for trying to shortchange us. He deserved it. Besides, you taught me well. I stretch up to kiss him. How did the meeting with the Romanos go? Good. They're proposing a formal alliance, our territory and theirs, united against outside threats. With the Kozlovs gone and Antonio's network dismantled, Chicago's been quiet. They want to keep it that way. And you? I think it's smart. Marco Romano is reasonable, not like his father. We can work with him. He pauses. There's something else. The families want to have a formal celebration. Announce the alliance, introduce you properly as my wife. They're calling it a coronation. I raise an eyebrow. A coronation? You know how these old world types are. Formal, traditional, dramatic. He grins. But they're not wrong. You are the queen of Chicago's underworld. Might as well make it official. The idea should terrify me, standing in front of every major crime family in the city, being acknowledged as Dante's equal. A year ago it would have. But now I'm intrigued. When? Next month. Black tie, the whole 9 yards. Every family sending representatives. His expression grows serious. It's a big target, Elena. Every enemy we have might use it as an opportunity to strike. Then we'll be ready. I touch his face. We always are. We. He captures my hand and kisses the palm. I love that you say we now. Like everything I do is something we're doing together. Because it is. I pull him toward the couch, settling into his lap. I'm in this with you, Dante. All of it. The danger, the power, the responsibility. For better or worse. Till death do us part. He brushes hair from my face. Though I plan to keep us both alive for a very long time. Good plan. I rest my head on his shoulder, feeling safe and content in a way I never imagined possible. Did you hear from your mother? Called her this morning. She wants to come visit when the baby's born. Wants to meet you properly, not just over video chat. I'd like that. I've spoken to Rosa Vitale several times over the past few months. A warm, elegant woman who left Chicago to escape the violence but never stopped loving her son. She was overjoyed to learn about the baby, about me, about Dante finding happiness. Will she be safe here? I'll make sure of it. His arms tighten protectively. Nothing will touch our family. Not while I'm alive. I believe him. I've seen what Dante is capable of when protecting what's his. The Kozlovs learned that lesson the hard way. After Dmitri left Chicago, we'd heard he tried to rebuild his operation in Detroit. 2 weeks later he was found dead in a warehouse fire, an accident, officially. Unofficially, everyone knew Dante had sent a message. Stay away from what's mine or burn. How's training going? Dante asked, changing the subject. Good. Lucas says I'm the best shot in your organization now. I've kept up with training even while pregnant, though we've modified some of the more intense combat drills. He also says I'm terrifying when I'm angry. I think it was a compliment. It definitely was. Dante chuckles. You've come a long way from the scared girl who showed up here a year ago. That girl died somewhere between the assassination attempts and falling in love with a mafia boss. I trace patterns on his chest. I miss her sometimes. Her innocence, her faith, her simplicity. Do you regret it? Becoming who you are now. I consider the question seriously. Do I regret learning to kill, to threaten, to operate in a world of shadows and violence? Do I regret the blood on my hands, the enemies I've made, the danger I live with daily? No, I say finally. That girl was safe but small. Living a half-life, hiding from the world. This version of me, she's dangerous and complicated and sometimes scared, but she's also powerful. Free. Alive. I look up at him. You gave me that. You showed me I was capable of more than I ever believed. You gave yourself that, Kara. I just provided the training. He kisses my forehead. But I'm glad you don't regret it. Because I'm selfish enough that I don't want to lose you, even if staying means you have to live in darkness. I'm not in darkness. I take his hand and place it on my stomach where our baby is starting to kick. I'm building something beautiful with you. A family. A life. A future. That's not darkness, that's hope. He goes very still as he feels the baby move, wonder crossing his features. She's strong. Just like her mother. I correct. And he gets that from both of us. We're going to argue about this for the next 3 months, aren't we? Definitely. I grin. But you love me anyway. More than anything. He captures my mouth in a kiss that starts gentle and gradually deepens. When we break apart, both breathless, his eyes are dark. Bed. Couch. I'm already pulling at his shirt. Bedroom's too far. He laughs, that beautiful sound I've come to treasure, and proceeds to show me exactly how much he loves me. Later, wrapped in a throw blanket on the couch, watching the city lights twinkle below, I think about the journey that brought me here. A year ago, I signed a contract in blood and fear, trading my freedom for my father's life. I thought I was sacrificing myself, throwing away my future to save the man who raised me. But I wasn't sacrificing anything. I was becoming strong, becoming dangerous, becoming the woman I was always meant to be but was too scared to embrace. Dante's hand rests on my stomach, feeling our baby move, and I cover it with mine. This child, our child, will grow up in a world of danger and power. But they'll also grow up knowing they're loved, protected, that their parents would burn down the world for them. Just like Dante did for me. Just like I did for him. What are you thinking? Dante murmurs, half asleep. I'm thinking about the contract. The one you tore up. What about it? It said 24 months. That I'd be your wife for 2 years and then walk away with $5 million. And instead you're stuck with me forever. He sounds amused. Bad deal? The best deal I ever made. I shift to look at him. Do you remember what you said? That night in the warehouse when you told me your terms? I said a lot of things. You said, your father owed me his life. And now you will pay the price, as my wife. I trace his jaw. I thought you were a monster. A devil offering a deal that would destroy me. No. You were a man who'd forgotten how to trust, how to love, how to be human. And you were waiting for someone who could remind you. I kiss him softly. I'm glad it was me. So am I, Kara. So am I. We fall asleep like that, tangled together on the couch, safe in our fortress above Chicago. Outside, the city pulses with life and danger. But inside, we've built something that can withstand anything. A partnership forged in blood and sealed with love. A marriage that started as a contract and became a choice. A future that we're building together, one dangerous, beautiful day at a time. 3 weeks later, I stand in front of a mirror in an emerald green gown that accommodates my growing belly, diamonds at my throat, Dante's wedding gift, finally worn for their intended purpose. My hair is swept up, my makeup flawless, and I look every inch the queen they're about to crown. You're gorgeous, my father says from the doorway. He's fully recovered now, though he walks with a cane. He sold his remaining businesses and moved into a condo near the lake, far from the life that nearly killed him. Your mother would be so proud. Would she? I touched the necklace. I'm not sure she'd approve of the choices I've made. She'd approve of you being happy, being strong, being loved. He moves closer, taking my hands. That's all any parent wants for their child, Elena. And you have all three. I do. I squeeze his hands. Are you happy, Dad? Away from the business, living a quiet life. Happier than I've been in years. He smiles. Though I have to admit, I'm rather proud that my daughter rules Chicago with her husband. Even if I'm not supposed to know about most of what you do. I laugh. Plausible deniability. Exactly. A knock at the door and Dante enters, devastating in a black tuxedo. He stops when he sees me and something hot and possessive flashes in his eyes. Cristo, Elena. You're trying to kill me. Save that thought for later. I cross to him, straightening his bow tie. Ready? Are you? This is a big step. Once they formally recognize you as my queen, as my partner, there's no going back. You'll be a target for every enemy we have. I'm already a target. I brush a piece of lint from his shoulder. Might as well have the title to go with it. He grins, fierce and proud. That's my girl. We walk out together, my hand on his arm, and I feel the weight of what's about to happen. Every major crime family in Chicago is downstairs. The Romanos, the O'Malleys, the Chens, and a dozen others. They've come to witness the formal alliance between the North and South sides, and to acknowledge me as Dante's equal. As his queen. The ballroom falls silent as we enter. Hundreds of eyes turn to us, some curious, some calculating, some hostile. Dante's hand covers mine on his arm, a gesture of solidarity and protection. Marco Romano steps forward, the head of the South Side family, flanked by his brothers. Dante Vitale. You've requested this gathering to formalize an alliance between our families. I have. Dante's voice carries through the room. For too long, Chicago has been divided. North against South, family against family, violence without end. I propose we end the divisions. Unite our territories under a common code. Protect what's ours together instead of fighting each other while outside forces try to take what's ours. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Marco nods slowly. And your wife? She stands with you in this. She stands beside me. Dante turns to look at me. Elena Vitale is my partner in all things. She has proven herself in blood and fire. She has my trust, my respect, and my love. And she has my full authority to act on behalf of our family. Bold words. Marco's gaze shifts to me. But can she back them up? I step forward, releasing Dante's arm, standing alone. A year ago, I was a waitress who knew nothing of your world. Now I'm the woman who helped dismantle the Kozlov Empire. Who brought down the traitors in our own family. Who stands before you not because I was born into power, but because I earned it. I meet Marco's eyes without flinching. I don't ask for your approval. I don't need it. But I offer you partnership, alliance, and my word that I will uphold any agreement we make. Can you say the same? Silence. Then Marco starts to laugh, a genuine, appreciative sound. She has fired Dante. I like her. He extends his hand to me. You have our alliance, Mrs. Vitale, and our respect. I shake his hand firmly, and around us the room erupts in applause. The ceremony continues, formal oaths, signed agreements, toasts to the new alliance. Through it all, Dante stays close, his hand finding mine whenever possible, his pride evident in every glance. When it's finally over and we're alone in the car heading home, I let out a long breath. That was intense. You were perfect. Dante pulls me close. Did you see Romano's face when you challenged him? I thought he'd have a heart attack. I may have been channeling you a bit. Good. You're supposed to be terrifying. He kisses my temple. My fierce, dangerous, beautiful queen. Your queen. I like the sound of that. What now? Now. He rests his hand on my belly. Now we go home. We prepare for our child. We build our empire. And we live happily ever after. You think we get that? A happy ending. We make our own endings, Kara. His eyes meet mine, gray and steady and full of love. And ours is just beginning. The baby, a girl as Dante predicted, is born on a snowy December night. She has his gray eyes and my auburn hair, and when she wraps her tiny hand around his finger, I watch the last piece of ice around Dante's heart melt completely. Gianna Rosa, he whispers, named for both our mothers. Perfect. I watch him hold our daughter, this man who was supposed to be my captor, my nightmare, my doom. Instead, he became my savior, my teacher, my partner, my love. The contract said 24 months. I'm giving him forever. And he's giving me the same. In blood and vows, in darkness and light, in love and war, we're bound together. His queen. His wife. His equal. And I wouldn't have it any other way. The end.